Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming to talk to us tonight. We have 49 of you we're going to hear from tonight. Here are the rules. If you have one line item, you have 3 minutes. If you have more than one line item, you have 5 minutes. Whether you have 3 to 100 line items, you have 5 minutes. We want to hear from everybody. We have the materials you sent us. We appreciate that. We have commissioners. We have 2 lists here. One is by the order of appearance, and the other one is by alphabet. So we can use these for later. We really appreciate what you do. Everybody on this commission appreciates what you give the community, and we don't. You're worth a lot more than 3 minutes, but just because of the volume, we thought this was the most fair and equitable way to get the information. So don't feel that we don't appreciate you. You are an important part of who Buncombe County is and what we do, because you're an extension. You add to our sustainability plan what we want to do for our people that you serve also. So we appreciate that. But we are going to get going, and Commissioner Jones is en route. She will be here later. She has a business conflict that left her, and she got some traffic conflict on top of the business conflict. She will be here and sends her regrets, but has looked over everything and will be consulting. We're not voting tonight on anything. We're not even in session tonight. This is something that the commission wanted to do to make sure we heard from everybody. We didn't do this. Most of the time I've been a commissioner, we didn't have you come in and talk to us. But I think this is good for us. We want to hear from you, and we will start. Yes, we are recording. Thank you, Commissioner. We want everybody to be transparent. We want people to know what we're considering. We want people to know about what you're doing. So this will be both tape and broadcast. Is that right, Madam Clerk? So watch what you say. Let's start off. We're going to start off. Let's do it this way. I'm going to read the next 3, and if you could sit in the 3 seats here, and your podium will be here. We're going to start off with Senior Care Fellowship will be number 1. Folk Heritage Committee will be number 2. And Asheville Lyric Opera will be number 3. Senior Care Fellowship, you could tell us who you are. You have 3 minutes to use any way you want to. It'd be good to say who you are and who you represent again, and then get right into it. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I am Shirley Duncan with the Senior Care Fellowship at the Nazareth First Missionary Baptist Church. We are a one-day program, which we do on Tuesdays from 10 until 2 in the afternoon. Our program usually begins with coffee and snacks so we can meet and greet everybody that's there. There are a variety of activities offered, and we have speakers who try to give information that they want to know about. They're trying to understand the Bible, and we have 2 ministers who are trying to explain it to them and make sure they understand what they're reading. We offer a hot lunch, and we serve one every week from 12 until 1. And on the 3rd week, we take them out to a dinner, and it's for their birthday. We celebrate all birthdays on the 3rd Tuesday of each month. Please don't ask us to take you out in December. We have 6 of them. And we offer lots of things for them to do, but as senior citizens, you know, they get set in their ways, and they only want to do one or two things. That's sit and eat and talk. So we let them do that as much as possible, but we have to do crafts, and we have to have speakers, and we have to do things so that we make sure that we are giving them offering them something that they can use. And thank you for what you have done, and I thank you for what I hope you will do.
Thank you, Ms. Duncan. Next, we'll hear from Folk Heritage Committee, and then we'll Asheville Lyric Opera, and then Historic Resource Commission.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Loretta Freeman. I am here today to represent the Folk Heritage Committee. We are a hard-working, all-volunteer committee of local citizens who stage Shindig on the Green and the Mountain Dancing Folk Festival. Shindig takes place at the Roger McGuire Green and the Bascom Memorial Lunsford stage downtown. The stage is named for the founder of the festival, Bascom Memorial Lunsford, and is held the first weekend in August and at the Dine-Wortham Theater near Pack Square. We are proud to say that this is the 89th festival season for the longest running festival of its type in the nation. Shindig on the Green will open its 50th season and will present music and dance of our region to thousands of people in a beautiful open-air setting backed by the city building and the county courthouse. Please consider this an invitation to attend one or more of our events. Shindig is free to the public, but the Mountain Dance and Folk Festival is a ticketed event. Our committee has felt for some time that our events have had quite an impact on the economy of our area. We obtain information regarding statistics gathered from our Shindig attendees with regard to numbers of visitors and dollars spent. Other questions on our survey indicate that visitors take in many of the attractions in our region and stay over at local hotels. It should be evident from the results of our surveys that we contribute a great deal to the local economy. In order to produce these events, the Folk Heritage Committee will incur debts for sound, house band, advertising, sales, inventory, and portable toilets. We will need to raise revenue to cover our expenses. Each season, we have raffle and merchandise for sale. We also receive individual donations and corporate support, for which we are very grateful. The proceeds all go to fund our programs. I thank you for your time and your help in the past, and the time that you've given me to speak about our committee and our hard work. We thank you for your support.
Thank you, Ms. Freeman.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Asheville Lyric Opera, HRC, and then we'll hear from the Environmental Quality Institute.
Good afternoon, happy Valentine's Day. My name is David Craig Starkey, I'm the founder and general and artistic director of the Asheville Lyric Opera. We are celebrating our 17 years of success. I come to you to talk about success. And first of all, I want to say thank you to the County Commission. Many times you have championed the investment in the arts and culture of Asheville and the greater Buncombe County region. We come to you because of that success that you invested into. That began with the Dine-Wortham Theater, Pack Place, and the revitalization of downtown Asheville in those wonderful and existing facilities. We have lived in the Dine-Wortham Theater, and that is our home for our presentations. It will continue to be our home, and we find it to be a gem for our success. Our offices used to be in the Pack Place. We lived there for 13 years. We were the first and longest tenant in its history, and we lived out the plans and the ideas of its founders as an incubator for the arts. As there were transitions that happened, we then moved and we went over to the wonderful YMI Cultural Center and lived there for 4 years. We recently left that facility because our success and your successes were growing, and we have literally outgrown both of those cultural centers. As you know, there is no other cultural centers, so the Asheville Lyric Opera is now in a plan for its future of where it is going to go out on its own. We are part of a wonderful relationship, but it is temporary, as you all know. We are housed in the BB&T building, or the old BB&T building, by a relationship with John McKibben and Glenn Wilcox. when that building is to then be closed, the Asheville Lyric Opera will be proceeding with a new plan with the help of Beverly Hanks, who's doing our site visits right now for a downtown location for offices. As you know, the downtown marketplace is quite expensive. We are ready and poised as an organization to be able to grow into this mechanism, but we are coming to the Buncombe County Commissioners to help us as we go through this transition. As Pack Place helped us, YMI helped us, John McKibben and Glenn Wilcox helped us, and we're asking for you to possibly consider helping us with a $5,000 request. We look forward to maybe going out and creating a new cultural center, a new cultural destination, a new cultural of whatever it may be. We don't know what that is yet, but we have to work and move in the steps of the direction of our success and the success that you have afforded to us. We thank you very much for you making the arts and cultural destination of Asheville. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Next, HRC, Environmental Quality Institute, and Asheville Community Theater.
Thank you. My name is Stacy Merton. I'm the Director of Historic Resources and with the City of Asheville Planning and Urban Design. I just wanted to remind the committee, for some of you that are new, that the Historic Resources Commission is actually not a nonprofit. We are a unit of local government, and the commission is jointly appointed by the city and the county. And our mission is to protect the cultural and architectural resources of Buncombe County through identification, evaluation, and protection. The commission continues to work with the county to establish a dedicated funding stream. But this year we are before you asking for a $5,000 grant, basically to offset our operating expenses for the work that we do. And I just wanted to highlight some of the important things of historic preservation. It is not just about the past or protecting old buildings and landscapes. It is about utilizing the power of place to connect us to the past. For example, cultural landscapes, which we find all over Buncombe County, they are basically our human-shaped environments, and the landscapes that we have in the county reflect the values, goals, and aspirations of earlier generations. Historic preservation is also about people and places that bring community to life and create meaning in our lives today. Because old places help to create a sense of continuity by bringing forward the relevance of the past to give meaning to the present, people can feel more connected and balanced, and it also gives them health and safety feeling in their current environment. Historic preservation is also about economic development. It is a basis for heritage tourism, and studies consistently show that heritage tourism travelers stay longer and spend more money than average travelers or travelers for other reasons. And historic preservation is about sustainability in the future. Studies continue to show that the greenest building, I'm sure you've all heard this, is one that's already built. And in almost every case, the reuse of existing buildings results in fewer environmental impacts over their lifespan compared to the demolition and new construction. So that's really just an overview. You have the annual report that I submitted, and I really appreciate your help in the past, and I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Next, we'll hear from Environmental Quality Institute, Asheville Community Theater, and Just Economics. I think for now I'll just read the next one to come up.
Hi, my name is Anne-Marie Traylor. I'm the director of the Environmental Quality Institute. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today and the chance to be here with these other hardworking community leaders. EQI is a nonprofit laboratory that operates volunteer stream monitoring projects in western North Carolina. The Volunteer Water Information Network, or VWIN, is a long-term, multi-county chemical stream monitoring project. The purpose is to provide objective and reliable data to regional partners to support conservation and restoration efforts. Buncombe County has been a VWIN partner since 1990. One strategy listed in the 2012 County Sustainability Plan includes to develop or continue the work that the Volunteer Water Information Network program has done measuring water quality in county streams. In the past 26 years, the VWIN project has grown to 12 counties with 17 organizations and local governments funding monitoring for their particular focus areas. Partners for this county include Buncombe County, the Metropolitan Sewerage District, the City of Asheville, and the nonprofit Asheville Greenworks. We are requesting $9,600 to continue monitoring 20 of 54 total VWIN sites in Buncombe County. Gary Higgins, who is the director of the Buncombe County Soil and Water Conservation District, requested that we apply for this full amount rather than dropping sites to reach a lower cost. The Soil and Water Conservation District uses the data to identify sites for technical assistance and conservation projects throughout the county for assessing effectiveness of such water quality improvement projects and for providing educational outreach to residents from school children to landowners. Over the years, watershed managers throughout Western North Carolina have used VWIN data to justify millions of dollars in funding for watershed conservation efforts. One specific project is the Ivy River Partners, who have used VWIN data for developing the Ivy River Source Water Protection Plan, funding priority management projects, raising public awareness of natural resources, and increasing citizen involvement. To make stream monitoring cost-effective, EQI hosts paid college interns and federal work study students that gain valuable work experience at our state-certified laboratory. Buncombe County residents volunteer their time and travel expenses to collect water samples from their specific locations every month. Some volunteers have been working with VWIN since 1990, which really takes dedication and the belief that you are making a difference. We hope that the county leaders share that idea and continue to support this partnership with VWIN. Thank you so much for taking the time to consider this and all of these proposals.
Thank you, Ms. Trainer. We'll hear from Asheville Community Theater, Just Economics and Child Abuse Prevention Services.
My name is Susan Harper. I'm the Executive Director of Asheville Community Theater, and I'd like to begin by thanking Commissioner Gant for recognizing the work of everybody in this room, but I want to thank you for the work that you do on behalf of our county. We thank you for the opportunity to apply for funding, and the funding that you provided last year and the year before. Last year, your funding benefited 132 children and 20 interns. ACT has been serving this community for 70 years. Our special role is to put the community on stage. We produce great shows using community volunteers. But the untold story of Asheville Community Theater is that we have developed the largest theater education program in Western North Carolina. Last year, we served 4,700 children through participation in a class, attendance at a summer camp, or attendance at school matinees. Educational offerings range from in-depth participation to experiences that enable children to learn to appreciate being an audience member. ACT values being open and welcoming, and we value access. It's difficult to be inclusive when programs have fees, and we as a nonprofit look to earn our way in the world. So your funding is really important to those 152 children who got to participate because of your generosity. I want to introduce you to Chanda Callentine. She's the Director of Education at ACT, and I've asked her to share a few specific stories about children you have touched.
I would love to share all of the emails that I receive on a daily basis in gratitude and also asks. However, I have a few. One is from a 12-year-old female. She almost lost her father in a car accident. Her father was bedridden and unable to work. While he was healing and learning to talk, this young lady ran her lines and worked with him on his speech and her memorization. Every day his speech improved, and she used her father's voice to create her character on the stage. A sweet and polite 9-year-old boy bounced from house to house to house, never knowing where he would lay his head at night. His aunt reached out to ACT and asked for financial assistance. This child has been with us for over a year, has found a safe place and a home at ACT. A 10-year-old little girl moved here from California with her mother. With tears in her eyes, the mother explained this child didn't like school, she couldn't make any friends, and her work and school was suffering. By the end of the class, the child had a huge smile on her face, and by the end of the 10-week program, her grades had improved and she had the self-confidence to make the friends in her school and the community. And lastly, a 13-year-old boy was being bullied at school. I received a phone call from his parents asking for help. They had no idea what to do. He had been kicked out of school for fighting back. Every day of rehearsal, he and I would create scenes and act them out. The way things should have gone, the way things could have gone, the actions he could have taken to improve the outcome. Using theater, he talked endlessly about how we could change the reactions.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have Just Economics, Child Abuse Prevention Services, and the Mediation Center.
Hello, I'm Vicki Neath. I'm the Executive Director of Just Economics, whose mission is to educate, advocate, and organize for a just and sustainable local economy that works for all in Western North Carolina. We do this through policy advocacy, grassroots leadership development, and living wage certification. I want to start off by thanking you for your partnership with us in this current fiscal year. Through the first 6 months of this fiscal year, your investment helped us to certify 20 new employers, adding more than $24,000 worth of wage raises to low-income, low-wage workers in our community. When more workers make a living wage, they are more able to meet their basic needs without assistance, effectively reducing poverty in Buncombe County and leading to a more healthy and vibrant and sustainable community. Additionally, our recent Voices for Economic Justice graduates, which is part of our grassroots leadership development work, produced a film elevating the voices of low-income people in Buncombe County, leading to better understanding of the issues that impact people living in poverty. We hope you will renew your investment in Just Economics in this next fiscal year. By supporting the largest voluntary living wage employer certification program in the country, your investment in our work helps to reduce poverty and also helping to meet your goal of a localized economy with competitive wages, as outlined in your sustainability plan. By supporting our Voices for Economic Justice program, you are contributing to work that helps meet your goals of increased citizen participation in community decisions. And together with employees, employers, and local governments, we are working towards your workforce development goal of reducing barriers to employment, as evidenced by our successful work in our campaign to improve the Asheville transit system. Our work intersects in multiple ways to remediate poverty in our community, and we hope you will continue to partner with us and make this continued investment in the coming fiscal year. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Next, we'll hear Child Abuse Prevention Services, Mediation Center, and Asheville Downtown Association Foundation.
Thank you very much. It's a real honor and privilege to be able to speak in front of you. I'm the fairly new director at Child Abuse Prevention Services, just starting in July, and I was brought on for one of the main purposes is to take us into becoming an accredited child advocacy center. And so we're actually rebranding, changing our services, and expanding our services. So our sole purpose is to serve the children in this community that have experienced abuse and neglect. We provide it through multiple types of services. Some are therapy services, where we provide evidence-based therapy services, not only to help kids get past the trauma that they've experienced, but to flourish in the community and not just survive what they've been through. We also provide advocacy services. Most of our families have never been involved in the system, so when they have to go through the legal system and the judicial system and work within the medical system and get services provided to them that they never thought they would have to find, we're able to advocate for those families and connect them to different services in the community, such as medical, therapy, basic needs, those things that they require to have. We also provide education to the community through K through 5 in both Buncombe County and through Asheville City Schools. We provide a prevention program through children, but we also address the parents as well, helping them to respond and deal with potential and real threats of risk, both for abuse and neglect for our children. So we work both with the children in the school, but also with the parents in the school, but also with the professionals in the community. There are multiple agencies within the community that work with children who don't know how to respond to allegations of child sexual abuse or physical abuse. And so we work with them to help them get the services they need for the children, starting with reporting. As I said, we are going through a lot of changes. We're actually we are now becoming the Mountain Child Advocacy Center. We are in the process of changing our name because we have received our provisional accreditation. We're working on our national accreditation so that we can provide more services to the kids in this community. When I took over in July, I was the only employee. We are now about to hire our 7th and 8th employee, including our 3rd and 4th therapists, so that we can reach more children. We're also expanding our advocacy services, so again, we can reach more children and families. Unfortunately, the reports of abuse and neglect in this county exceed over 4,000 a year. And so we're trying to meet the needs of all those children and families the best we can. And again, I appreciate the ability to present in front of you and the support that we've gotten over the years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, Mediation Center, Asheville Downtown Association Foundation, Swananoa Valley Christian Ministry.
Hi, I'm Laura Jeffords. I'm the Executive Director of the Mediation Center, and I'm here to talk to you about the Family Visitation Program today. The Family Visitation Program provides supervised visits and safe child exchange for families where there's a history or risk of domestic violence, child abuse, child neglect, substance abuse that would lead to child maltreatment or child abduction. And we provide a way for non-custodial parents to visit with their children in an environment that's safe. We also provide a way for parents in high conflict divorces or in domestic violence situations to exchange their children for weekend visits without having to have contact with each other. When they're not programs like the Family Visitation Program, children often visit with their parents or exchange between their parents in McDonald's, in the Walmart parking lot, in the Sheriff's Department parking lot. In those situations, help arrives after violence has happened, after abduction has happened, and after trauma has happened to these children. So the Family Visitation Program provides a way for kids to visit and exchange without their parents having contact, with plenty of security around to keep everybody safe and to help kids have a fun time with that parent, to allow that domestic violence victim parent to not worry about the safety of their child during visits, and to help the visiting parent improve their parenting skills, which reduces inappropriate parenting behavior during their visits. So you all helped us this year, which has enabled us to serve the families that are coming to us and help reduce our waiting list. We're asking for a little bit more help next year so that we can serve all the families who need this service. So the Family Visitation Program fits into the Buncombe County's comprehensive plan about domestic violence. And we're an important piece of that pie to make sure that when parents have restraining orders, when there's a history of domestic violence, that those situations don't continue to happen over and over and over again, either to victims or to children. We do about 900 visits a year with children. We serve about 70 families. It's not a huge number of families, but it's a set of families that really, really needs this service. So thank you for considering supporting us this year. And we also hope that you will, one thing that we are specifically asking you for this year is a little bit more support so that we can have security personnel present in the building when we're open. So we've had that in the past. We don't have funding for that now, and we'd like to have that back. It makes parents feel better, it makes kids feel better, and gives a little bit of extra safety to the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Asheville Downtown Association, Swanville Valley Christian Ministry, Appalachian Sustainable Ag Project.
Hi, I'm Megan with Asheville Downtown Association and Foundation, and I appreciate the opportunity to come before you today and talk a little bit about our events. All events that we're talking about today are free and open to the public, so all citizens of the county are welcome to come and enjoy them. We've been producing events in downtown for nearly 30 years. The first Downtown After 5 was held back in 1988 with about 100 people, and it moved around to different parking lots and parking decks around downtown, so we've certainly seen a lot of growth since then. We're also the most active event production organization in downtown. So the events we're talking about today are Easter on the Green. This brings about 2,500 kids and families to downtown for a fun, family-friendly event in Packsburg Park. Also Downtown After 5, which has grown from 100 attendees or so to now 5,000 to 7,000 per event. That's at each of the 5 events throughout the summer long. And it's held on Lexington Avenue. The 4th of July celebration, which we took over 2 years ago and have grown attendance to about 12 to 15,000. This is our community's Independence Day celebration, and that's also at Packsburg Park. We also do the Pritchard Park Summer Series, which includes Hoop Jam on Tuesdays, Wednesdays with Leaf Community Arts, and a local singer-songwriter series on Thursday, and of course the Friday Night Drum Circle. A lot of people don't know, but we hold the permits and insurance for that so that that event can continue in its grassroots form. And then finally, the Asheville Holiday Parade, which is the largest parade in the region and brings nearly 25,000 people to downtown. So we're looking at about 100,000 people that our events bring to downtown, and for the most part, these are Buncombe County citizens. We did some anecdotal research at events last year and found that depending on the event, about 60 to 70% were local to the Asheville and Buncombe County area. So these events are certainly fun, and they provide entertainment for our citizens. I think the most important part is they do more than that. You know, we support the local economy. We hire all local stage and sound, design services, screen printing, waste management, porta-johns, and more. Downtown After 5 alone is contributing about $125,000 back to the local economy. We're really proud of that. With 100,000 people coming in, of course, we're increasing exposure to downtown businesses. We also hire local musicians and local food vendors, giving them opportunities. And we also support another thing we're proud of, our fellow nonprofits. Through our Downtown After 5 wristband program, we give out $10,000 a year to other nonprofits and supported some of the folks in this room, actually, Asheville Greenworks, Homeward Bound, Mana Food Bank, the Arts Council. But our events also promote volunteerism. We train about 300 volunteers. These volunteers authenticate these skills and move along to other events and organizations. And then lastly, we feel like events instill a sense of community pride and provide opportunities for civic engagement. So again, I wanted to thank you all for the opportunity and for your support in the past. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Megan. Shenandoah Valley Christian Ministry, Appalachian Sustainability, a Sustainable Ag Project, and Irene Worthington.
Hi, I'm Renee Brain, Director of Shenandoah Valley Christian Ministry. We're located in Black Mountain, and our service area is from Ridgecrest to East Asheville, the VA hospital. Our ministry provided more than 18,000 client services last year. I am here today to talk to you about our Community Service Navigator position. It's a 20-hour-per-week position, and we're asking for your continued funding. And what that position is, our ministry has all these wonderful services, basic and emergency needs, but we don't know all the services available in the community or in the county. And so our Community Service Navigator links our clients up with those services, like what's available through Buncombe County or through the community. This might be helping a person find employment. That is one of the biggest tasks. Helping someone have medical and dental needs met. Helping someone who is going through a crisis maybe and needs to go to counseling. We have added to this person's job list that they connect that person with Black Mountain Pastoral Care and Counseling Center or a local counselor that we have that comes in and counsels with clients free. But this position, there are many things that they do and this lady does in this position. Connecting people with substance abuse programs, AA and NA meetings, helping the homeless with the outreach programs for the homeless. One of the things that I wanted to tell you is that we had a client come in the other day and just literally have a meltdown, an emotional meltdown. And you know, we can help clients with their basic needs and everything, but our navigator can go more in depth with a person and help them where they are right then. In other words, they don't know how to take a step forward because they're so deep into a depression or whatever. The navigator can help them step by step in what they can do to help themselves. And one successful case that just tickles me to death is a person that I mentioned last year who needed to see a maxillofacial dentist and have his teeth pulled because he had scurvy, and they were basically poisoning his system. That has been taken care of. This person is so self-sustaining. He's a musician. He's doing his music again. And in other words, we take people who have lost loved ones and connect them with this navigator and who helps them take step by step so they can feel better, give hope and encouragement and connections to what they need. Thank you for your funding, and we pray you'll fund us again this next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Breen. Appalachian, Irene Wortham, and Sterling House.
Good afternoon. My name is Molly Nicolai, and I'm Program Director with ASAP, the Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project. Our proposed project, Sustaining Buncombe County's Local Food Economies for $30,000, directly supports my program's work right here in Buncombe County. So this is providing training and technical assistance for farmers and farmers markets, promoting our Appalachian grown brand, which uniquely identifies products grown and produced in our region, and increasing demand for local food through our local food guide and public events such as our farmers markets, our farm tour, and a CSA fair. Through the support of Buncombe County in 2015, ASAP promoted 285 Buncombe County farms and 154 partner businesses through our local food guide. This included over 40,000 hits on our online local food guide and 25,000 copies of the printed edition distributed right here in the county. In addition, ASAP CSA Fair connected 280 potential customers with farmers offering CSAs and promoted 15 different farmers markets across the county through special events, advertising, social media, and weekly market updates. I'm here today to both thank you for your past support and to also ask you to continue that support. I can rattle off numbers of farmers trained or consumers participating, but our work is really about building relationships. Those are relationships with farmers and customers, farmers and wholesale buyers, customers and the restaurants they eat at, and also community members in our local food movement. Developing a local food movement is a long-term vision, and localizing a food system takes time, education, participation, and opportunities for the food economy to grow. We are seeing tremendous results in our community in terms of interest and commitment to local, but we still have a long way to go to ensure that all of our community can participate and have access to fresh local food, and that our farmers have the resources and opportunities they need to be long-term sustainable. Your support of ASAP's proposal is about building these personal connections with local food and farms in our community. ASAP's mission-driven work corresponds directly with several of the goals of the Buncombe County Sustainability Plan, including increasing demand for local products, promoting buy local programs, increasing food access to low-income individuals, and increasing educational opportunities regarding farms and local food products. With your continued support, ASAP will be able to continue to pursue our mission and simultaneously help Buncombe County achieve their goals. Thank you for considering our application.
Thank you, Molly. Irene Wortham, Sterling House, Hope Chest for Women.
Good afternoon, my name is Matthew Henry, and I am from the Irene Wortham Center. I'm actually also new to the area as of July. We are here seeking support for our Early Learning Center. Our Early Learning Center is the only fully designated developmental day center in our community currently. We serve children from birth to age 5. It is an inclusive program with about 40% of our children served with disabilities. Many of those disabilities are severe and profound. If we weren't available for these children, there would be very few options, if any, for them to be served by any other center in our community. 90% of all children served live in low-income households throughout the community. The majority of the low-income children served in our center come from the Shiloh neighborhood. And because of our proximity, it allows for our children easy access to the care that we provide and allows them to be able to get to there fairly easily. Some of the statistics around our funding currently, the average monthly subsidy payment per child is about $727. Our cost per child range about $1,200. So currently we are running at an average of $24,000 per month in deficit to provide the programs. We've done many things to try to curb this. We've looked for other funding sources. We've actually condensed 2 of our programs, our West and our East campus, into one program to help support that. So we're always looking and making adjustments in our own programs, cutting administrative costs we've done recently as well. But we just need some more support to keep the program viable and going. It's been around for a long time. Irene Wortham Center's been here for many, many years, as many of you do know. And this program being one of those programs where, as I said before, a lot of our costs do come from the costs that are incurred by developmental day teacher qualifications. It's a qualification that's very specific, and sometimes even master's level teachers don't qualify for that designation. It's a specific designation, and it costs a lot to kind of bring those teachers in and to retain them in our service. So if the center did not exist, there really would be no alternative care for many of the children that we serve. And we find that, as I say this at every one of our staff meetings, the work we do is so important, and it's very important to our community as well. So thank you very much for the time to speak.
Thank you, Matthew. Next, we'll hear Sterling House, Hope Chest, and then ARC.
Chairman Gant, Commissioners, and community members, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Sterling House project today. My name is Lisa Gay Hall, and I'm the Bar Administrator for the 28th Judicial District Bar. I have been honored to serve on the SOAR Court team for more than 6 years, and I have watched recovering alcoholics and addicts struggle to comply with the court's requirements of sobriety, treatment, and good behavior. The disease of addiction is daunting for these mothers and fathers, and their very lives hang in the balance. In my observation, the difficulty of finding safe housing can mean the difference between a future as a productive citizen or a downward spiral into jail, institutions, and death. Because I've been dismayed at the situation, I was excited when I heard about the availability of a 6-bedroom duplex just off McDowell Street. After touring the house and meeting with the folks at Smoky Mountain LME, Insight Human Services, and the county's compliance courts, it became obvious that this was a unique opportunity to provide safe, supervised transitional living quarters for this vulnerable population. Currently, it costs $160 a week to secure a bed in a privately owned recovery residence in Buncombe County. At Sterling House, clients would pay $100 a week, but only if they were employed and able to pay. The care coordinators at Smoky Mountain would provide support with gaining employment for the 12 women residents. Insight Human Services has agreed to oversee the program, hire and supervise a full-time coordinator, and provide therapeutic services to the residents. Buncombe County Department of Health and Human Services estimated in 2014 that the annual cost for the hard-to-house in Buncombe County is $2.3 million. Many of these hard-to-house citizens are the same folks that are failing in drug court due to a lack of safe housing. The Sterling House would reduce county costs by decreasing EMS transport costs, decreasing sheriff transport costs to regional hospitals, and decreasing arrests. The Sterling House is also an excellent way to address the county's Stepping Up Together goal of implementing research-based approaches. This project brings together 3 of the community's committed stakeholders: the court system, Smoky Mountain LME MCO, and Insight Human Services. They will work together to increase the county's capacity to house chronic mental health and hospital service users at a significant savings to the public. Smoky Mountain LME has pledged $40,000 for this project, but only if the county is willing to be a partner. I believe Sterling House is just the kind of evidence-based project that deserves Buncombe County's support. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next, we'll hear from Hope Chest, ARC, and then YMI.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Laws, and I'm with the Hope Chest for Women. The Hope Chest was founded in 2003 to provide emotional and financial support to women diagnosed or at risk for breast and gynecologic cancer. We help alleviate barriers that women are facing that affect their access to care. For women living at poverty level, there are other programs that will help pay bills and offer emergency assistance. Most of these programs are set up for people living at or below poverty. Although the majority of the patients we serve live at the poverty level, 40% of female patients we locally serve are living over the level and do not qualify for those services. Without financial help, these underserved patients are avoiding filling prescriptions, missing doctor appointments, unable to buy gas and drive to treatment, and scaling back on food and nutritional supplements needed to boost their immune system. Last year, we served 55 women in Buncombe County. We awarded 104 requests for help. These total requests amounted to $17,000. Approved funding for 2017 would allow us to double our capacity to financially support these women and increase the overall number of women served. Last year, we were able to spend money on a few examples of how we were able to make a difference and alleviate barriers. We provided funding for car parts and repairs to give a family back their primary form of transportation so a retired state trooper could drive his wife to chemotherapy treatment 3 times a week. We were able to buy saline for someone who had been forced to discontinue treatment while an infection healed because she wasn't able to clean her chemotherapy port properly without saline. We were also able to pay a past due storage bill for a patient who had become homeless, essentially was living with relatives, and was unable to live on her own until she finished her surgeries and her treatment. These are lots of barriers that women are faced with in our community. The women that we serve, we help them navigate assistance that is already out there through individualized case-managed approaches. We also try to help women that have never asked, never qualified, and never applied for assistance in their most trying time when they need it the most. Today we are also requesting money to expand our community outreach prevention programs and also help cover the cost of participating in health fairs. We have requested funding to hire a part-time volunteer coordinator. We know training is vital to create non-clinical navigators that can deliver support, and we want to use trained volunteers as ambassadors of hope to serve patients in need of support. Thank you for your time, and I hope you're able to partner with us to serve cancer patients here in our community.
Thank you, Sarah. ARC, YMI, WNC Communities.
Good afternoon. It's good to be back with you again. I'm Al Whitesides. I'm chair of the board and acting director for the ARC of Buncombe County. And as most of you know, the ones who don't, we have been in the community now for over 60 years working with people of disabilities. And hopefully we plan to be here another 60. And I would like to thank you for your continued support for crisis intervention and for our health and wellness programs in the county. In 2014 and 15, we were fortunate. We had another successful year. It was capped off with distinguished affiliate designation by the North Carolina Arc at our annual conference in September 2015. But the reason we got that is for the many supporters and the board and volunteers that we have. We were able to, through crisis intervention, including rental assistance, utility payments, medical assistance, and counseling, we were able to help over 252 clients. For community oversight and advocacy assistance and summer camp scholarships, we served a total of 102 families. Health and wellness activities such as healthy eating, counseling and supplemented by exercise, yoga classes and all. We helped 70 preschool children and 180 middle and high school students. For our clients in group homes and families with very limited means, holiday meals and gifts, we served 341 clients at Christmas. 2 yearly social enrichment events, which allow our clients a chance to enjoy one another, live entertainment and social activities and refreshments. And 2, most important of all, we serve as a clearinghouse in the community for people with disabilities. And we work with over 26 organizations in the community, and a lot refer people to us who cannot be served anywhere else. And through our employees who do an excellent job, and most referrals we can turn them around in 24 hours. So thank you again for your assistance. If you have any questions before I sit down, I'd be glad to entertain you. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Next, we'll hear YMI, WNC Communities, who has 2 proposals, so they'll have 5 minutes, and the Council on Aging. Lynn?
Good afternoon, Commissioner Gant, other esteemed commissioners. Thank you for allowing us this time to present before you. I am Stephanie Swetson Twitty, President and CEO for Eagle Market Streets Development Corporation. However, I am honored and privileged to be standing here today as the newly elected chair of the YMI Cultural Center, the oldest African-American cultural center in the country. The YMI represents a significant opportunity to continue highlighting the African-American cultural experience and for our board to play a role in helping to craft that experience. Further, it allows us to hold in trust the historical legacy of the founding fathers, a legacy of promoting the entrepreneurial spirit of African Americans in Buncombe County. The YMI is important to the county, the community, and Western North Carolina because it provides a cultural experience that is not duplicated anywhere in Asheville-Buncombe or the region. The funds we seek from the Commission will help to support our operations. I'd like to give you a few highlights of 2015. First, our signature program, the Buncombe Festival. Buncombe is a festival which secures a place for entrepreneurs of color from Buncombe County to be job creators, be significant participants in creating wealth for their communities and in being contributors to the overall economy. Buncombe's place in Western North Carolina is vital for maintaining YMI's cultural identity and for building a resilient, sustainable plan for our future operations and programs. This year we saw a record number of attendees and vendors, approximately 7,000. We hosted the Americans Who Tell the Truth exhibit, which also had a community reception where Dr. William Barber was our featured guest. Other exhibits were the WNC Health that took a look at the history of health and health disparities for African Americans in Western North Carolina. We also hosted Dwayne Barton of Hood Huggers International. Dwayne showcased his art related to Hood Huggers' experience in Asheville.
The three threads of focus for YMI continue to be cultural education awareness, sustaining and supporting entrepreneurship, and stimulating the economy in Buncombe County. We thank you for your time and for any consideration you may give our request.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, we'll hear from WNC Communities, Council on Aging, then Green Opportunities. And WNC, you have 5 minutes. You have 2 applications.
Good afternoon. I'm Margot Walston, the coordinator of the Hemlock Restoration Initiative, a program of WNC Communities. The mission of the Hemlock Restoration Initiative is to ensure that Eastern and Carolina hemlocks can resist the invasive hemlock woolly adelgid and survive to maturity on North Carolina's public and private lands. Although our area has already been substantially impacted by the adelgid, the threat to our hemlocks is not yesterday's problem. There is an ongoing opportunity to save this unique natural resource. And thanks to Commissioner Newman's 2015 proposal and the Board of Commissioners' generous support, the Bringing Beetles to Buncombe Hemlock Preservation Project has gotten off to a strong start. As of today, we have reached 90% of the total goal to release 5,000 adelgid predator beetles on 13 priority hemlock stands within Buncombe County. In the process, multiple additional high-quality stands have been identified for a second round of funding. Establishing biological controls such as these is the only long-term sustainable tool we currently know of to suppress one of the largest ecological disasters to hit the southern Appalachians. This project is taking necessary steps to reduce our dependence on chemical pesticides. And Buncombe County is setting a precedent that other counties want to follow. The Transylvania Natural Resource Council, inspired by Buncombe's dedication to this effort, is attempting to follow suit by pursuing a hemlock study and restoration program. What I would like to emphasize to you today is that long-term success of the project requires far more than just acquiring and releasing beetles. Following up monitoring, long-term planning, integration with other treatment methods, beetle collection and redistribution, and education and outreach are all essential necessary elements of the program that require support, dedicated time, and financial assistance. To end the program after 1 year of initial investment will jeopardize the opportunity to achieve the desired outcomes of that investment. To date, the Hemlock Restoration Initiative Coordinator has contributed more than 250 hours towards the Buncombe County project alone. This 2016-2017 proposal differs from last year's budget, and that we request the majority be dedicated to the procurement of beetles, while a portion will be used to cover personnel hours related to site assessments, releases, and monitoring, and an additional amount dedicated to outreach, education, and training to landowners, partners, and the general public. Thank you for your attention today and your support in weaning our trees off of drugs by putting beetles on needles.
Hello, my name is Linda Lamp, the Executive Director of WNC Communities, and I'm grateful for your time today to share details on WNC Communities programs that benefit Buncombe County and Western North Carolina. Programs like the WNC Honors Awards program, which is designed to recognize rural communities for implementing a variety of best practices to enhance the quality of life in their communities. $4,800 was awarded to 9 communities in the county this past November from that program. Another program is the Journey Scholarship, created to support our region's youth in their pursuit of higher education. 4 scholarships totaling $4,000 were given to youth in the county. WNC Communities provides leadership and administrative support to several agricultural groups, such as the WNC Regional Livestock Center, the Mountain Cattle Alliance, the WNC Brewers Grain Alliance, the Beef Cattle Commission, and the Dairy Commission. And in 2015, WNC Communities acquired Blue Ridge Food Ventures to lead a 2-year plan to move this organization forward to become a self-sustaining nonprofit venture as a shared-use kitchen and co-packing facility for entrepreneurs. Smithson Mills has been acquired as the executive director to lead this transition, and current businesses in the county that benefit are Lusty Monk Mustard, Smokin' Jay's Hot Sauce, Roots Hummus, and No Evil Foods, just to name a few. It is important to note that Buncombe County has been a partner to WNC Communities for well over 66 years. Support from the county has been critical to sustaining our organization to ensure that we will be here to manage and administer additional funded programs available for the region. In taking account of the programs provided to residents in the county, a measurable return on investment over the past year would be over $91,000. With $4,800 from WNC Honors, $4,000 from the Journey Scholarship, $10,000 through the TVA Ag and Forestry Fund, $15,000 from Ag Options, and over $58,000 through the School Energy Efficiency Program. This total does not include benefits to the county's livestock producers that sell through the Regional Livestock Center or awards given through the Hemlock Restoration Initiative. Thank you for your time today. It has been an honor to be of service to our rural communities, the agricultural and forestry sectors over the past 66 years. Thanks to your support.
Thank you, Brenda. Council on Aging, Green Opportunities, and Project Lighten Up.
Good afternoon, I'm Wendy Marsh. I'm Director for the Council on Aging in Buncombe County. We are our first-time applicant for this, and I thank you very much for being included. We have asked for support to work with at-risk elders. And I thought I would give you some examples so you know exactly what that means when we're talking about risk and aging. About 18 months ago, a fellow in his 80s called our office and spoke with a social worker. He said, you know, I haven't been sick for several months. I haven't been able to clean my house. I don't have anybody. He said, do you know anyone that might be able to help me? The social worker was so concerned at the sound of his voice. He sounded out of breath, very weak. She asked if she could see him that very afternoon, and he agreed. And indeed, when she went to see him, he could barely get to the door. And when he did open the door and let her in, it took him significant time to get back to his chair. Turns out he'd been sick for 6 months. He'd lost 40 pounds in that 6 months. He hadn't seen a doctor in 5 years, and he'd left his teeth at the dentist because they didn't fit. He couldn't get his groceries because he was too weak to carry them in from the car, so he might go out and get a loaf of bread and bring it in, but that was about it. So first thing she did was get him a doctor appointment, called Dr. Karsmarek, got him in the next 2 days. Then she called Meals on Wheels and got him on the route so that at least temporarily he would have food coming into the house. Then she arranged for a car ride trip to go and get his groceries. Then she sat down with him to look at in-home aid providers. Now this gentleman was different. He could afford to buy services. We don't ask for income levels, we just go see people when they need help. So he chose a provider, got the help in his home, got his teeth fixed through the dentist, and 18 months later, we're still in contact with him. He's gained his weight back. He is cooking on his own. He's getting his groceries. He can get around now. He doesn't need in-home support as much, but he still has an aide that he pays for. And he's lonely now. So what we'll do, now that he's ready to get out and about, is we'll connect him with our senior dining program. So there's someone who was maybe financially at risk, physically at risk. I'm fully aware and sure that if she had not gone that afternoon, he might have been found on the floor and not very long from him. Another situation, financial risk. We had a call from a woman who lived out in East Buncombe, and her husband had recently died, and with that, her income was significantly reduced, and she could no longer afford to buy her eyeglasses. She said, I just really need some eyeglasses. So the social worker said, well, I can help you with that, but there might be a couple other things. Do you mind if I come out and see you? She did not mind. So it turns out this woman and her husband had to flee Germany at the start of World War II, and they went to Australia and lived and worked for several years. After the war, they moved to the United States and lived and worked for several years. And they had a comfortable income until her husband died. This happens a lot with older women, you may know that. What she did have and didn't know about was retirement from Australia and retirement from Germany. We often say it's not what we know, but what we know how to find out. We got the retirement from Australia. I'm all done, right? We got the retirement from Germany. We're asking for your help. If I may say, 14 years ago, 2002, you asked us all to be relevant or go away. We're relevant. We keep helping people. We want to keep it up. I thank you so much for the opportunity. Those are good stories. I just had to tell you.
Thank you, Mindy. Next, we'll hear from Green Opportunities, Project Lighten Up, and Veterans Treatment Corps.
Good afternoon, County Commissioners. How are you? My name is George Jones. I'm the Executive Director for Green Opportunities. We're excited to be here today to speak to all of you. And we thank you so much for your continued support of our organization and the work that we're doing in the community. As you know, Green Opportunities, the organization itself is a nonprofit 501c3, which focuses on really providing sustainable employment and opportunity in the areas of workforce development and training. We have 2 flagship programs. One you may be very familiar with. The gentleman behind me will talk about that in just a minute. Our Kitchen Ready program is a culinary training program, 14-week program that's highly successful in this community, and it provides students the opportunity to get inside of utopia of Asheville in terms of the industry itself. And we're really excited about the work that we're doing. We're also really focused on your sustainability program, your priorities as it relates to providing a robust opportunity for individuals to have a leg up in this community. And we look forward to providing not only the student retention opportunities for students to gain not only gainful employment but proficiency skills, but most importantly, to be an economic cog within the community related to the hospitality center. So I'm going to have Chef Liam talk very specifically about the Kitchen Ready program. We're expanding into some new programs, which we'll talk about down the road, and we just appreciate your support with our culinary program. Thank you.
Real quick, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the County Commission for their strategic goals that you're setting for the whole community. There's no room in this harsh world for second best, and I especially feel like that's true in the culinary world. We are training the best students in the city. In the last 3 years, the Go Kitchen Ready program, as part of Green Opportunities, has been the centerstone of that organization. We have trained over 100 low-income students, graduated them. 80% of those students are still working in the food industry. 100%, or I would say 95% of those students, because a couple of them have overcome economic barriers that they faced in their life that plague this city. And more than just a culinary job training program, we've sustained ourselves as a feeding program. So this last year, we fed 15,000 people in our free donation-based kitchen. Those are students learning the industry and feeding the public. We would like to increase those numbers. We would like to increase the number of students that we train, and we believe that our program is critical to the city's goals. We also are very grateful to the county for the leadership that you've led, and we hope to be part of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bud. Thank you, Chef.
18,000 meals.
18,000, thank you, sir. Project Lighten Up, Veterans Treatment Corps, and then Friends of the Nature Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Pastor Hardaway. Although I'm a long-winded Baptist preacher, I do know how to stand up, speak up, and sit down. I do want to thank the county commissioners for the lion's share of support that you provide, but also to the city, our community, which provides support to churches, businesses, and individual donors, and also the Rambo Charitable Foundation. We're grateful for your support. As you know, Project Lighten Up is a summer day camp program, and our intent is to shorten the achievement gap by preventing summer learning loss. And one of the things that we do, we blend education and recreation into our daily program. No other camp service kindergarten to the 8th grade for 8 weeks that blend in education and recreation into our daily activities. We service 108 children. Last year, we intend to service 132. We service children from campers from Piscaview, Hillcrest, Shiloh, and Greater Asheville. Your support is vital and important to us sustaining and providing the kind of safe, educational, recreational place for children and for the parents to bring their children to have a safe and refreshing summer day camp. And we appreciate your support. I cannot express how vital your support is to the longevity of Project Lighten Up. We've been around since 2008, and our model to our students, learn all they can and can all they learn. Thank you. If you have any questions about it.
Thank you, Pastor. Next, we'll hear from Veterans Treatment Corps, Friends of the Nature Center, and Mount Zion Community Development.
Hello, I'm Dr. Eric Howard. This is Dr. Jamie Baskey with me, and I appreciate again the opportunity to come speak to you. And I want to tell you, I'm so grateful for the support in the beginning there to help us get started. Veterans Treatment Corps is a comprehensive court focusing on PTSD, mental health, substance abuse issues of the 19,000 veterans in this area. So far, we've been doing really well. The court is growing. We're excited about that, and that's why I'm here to seek your continued support. We found some areas that we really need more support, and that would be kind of in the emergency housing arena. as well as the drug tests and supplies that we need to make sure that we sustain the court. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you're helping our veterans. We had a gentleman come in, 27 years old, combat veteran, multiple combat missions, PTSD, meth user, because he didn't want to go to sleep. And today I'm happy to report to you that he is doing substantially better. About just under 2 weeks ago, he was in court and he was able to turn to the gallery and talk a little bit, which was very therapeutic for him about his combat missions and what was happening to him. And so there is progress happening. These individuals are seeking the help. And right now I have Dr. Jamie Baskey here, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the data and what it takes to sustain the court and some of the things that why it's beneficial for the county to continue to support Veterans Treatment Court. Just for the longevity of the community and having these folks come in is very supportive. Dr. Baskey.
Thank you so much for having us tonight. You know, Eric kind of touched on the type of individuals that we're treating in the court. These are chronic offenders who have a long history of substance use, mental health issues, unemployment issues, housing issues, a lot of involvement with the criminal justice system. As you probably know, it costs about $30,000 to house someone in either Buncombe County Detention Center or in a state facility. We have 7 individuals in our court right now. If you just extrapolate that, that's $210,000 that will cost either the county or the state. This is pretty a low-cost program if you kind of look at it in the grand scheme of things. And there's some evidence to suggest that it's already working. About half of our individuals are employed right now. 100% of our individuals are in sober living. It's not their own housing situation, but they are in sober living, and that's very important. So thank you so much.
Thank you again for your support.
Thank you, Dr. Howard, Dr. Baskey. Friends of the Nature Center, Mount Zion, community, one youth at a time.
Hi, my name is Kelly Christensen, and I am with the Friends of the Western North Carolina Nature Center. The Nature Center in its current form has been a part of the Buncombe County community for over 40 years, and the Friends have been providing financial support to the center from the beginning. Each year, 14,000 children, most of them students from schools across Buncombe County and Western North Carolina, come to educational programming at the center. In 2015, the center welcomed 121,000 visitors, which is an increase of 4,500 from the year before. The Friends currently counts 4,700 member households, which represents nearly 19,000 people. 42% of those member families reside in Buncombe County, and nearly half of those, 45%, are non-city residents of the county. Also in 2015, 240 volunteers gave 13,000 hours of their time at the Nature Center. The Nature Center continues to be an integral resource for education, enrichment, and family entertainment for the thriving community of Buncombe County. As a Nashville City property, the Nature Center provides a reduced admission price to city residents. For the current fiscal year, a grant from the Buncombe County Service Foundation has allowed us to provide that same offset to non-city Buncombe County residents as well. We believe it is very important to continue this price offset, and we are requesting the funds to do so. Additionally, we are requesting funds to support the cost of a Friends membership director. The most recent memorandum of understanding between the Friends and the City of Asheville requires the Friends to contribute a steadily increasing amount of operational funds to the city on behalf of the Nature Center. This is to reduce the city subsidy to the Nature Center over the next few years. While this is a strong vote of confidence in the financial viability of the Nature Center, and it is necessary to the long-term success of the Nature Center, it provides a new challenge to the Friends. To address this challenge, in 2016, the Friends will be growing its capacity for fundraising and outreach. However, we remain a member-based organization. Currently, membership accounts for 90% of our income. The single most important step we can take toward ensuring sustainability and stability while we grow is to secure the position of the membership director during this year of change. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Kelly. Next, we'll hear from Mount Zion. You have 5 minutes, Belinda. And then we hear one youth at a time in Asheville Area Arts.
To Commissioner Chair David Gant, to all of you present today, to Ms. Wendy Stone, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am here representing Mount Zion Community Development, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The two programs that I'm here to talk to you about is Project Empower. Project Empower stands for Education Means Power. It is one of Buncombe County's teen pregnancy prevention initiatives. And I say one of them because I was asked to participate in the training for making proud choices with Buncombe County for youth in foster care. And I must say that when I received the call from Becky Castle, and I was just like, oh man, one more thing for me to do. But I just want you to know that being a part of that and seeing the youth and the teens in that program who were initially guarded in the beginning and were just closed off, and then in the end, engaging in conversation. It was one of the best things that I have ever done, even though the meetings were on Saturdays and at night, but it was one of the best blessings. So be careful when you think you don't want to do anything. Presently, Project Empower is implementing reducing the risk curriculum at Asheville High School and Asheville Middle School. Asheville High School during the reproductive health classes. So we actually have received approval from the superintendent of the city schools to implement our classes, and it is counted as part of their reproductive health classes. In the after-school component, we collaborate with the Asheville City Schools Foundation in real life, where we serve the students after class. Our program is not abstinence only. It is abstinence-based because we encourage students and make them aware that abstinence is the 100% way to reduce HIV/AIDS and pregnancy, but we also are cognizant of the fact that if you just say don't do it without educating the teens and the youth about why, then it is not going to be effective. Last year, because of support from Buncombe County Service Foundation, known to us, there were no teen pregnancies, and we're so thankful for that, and no students that dropped out of school. And we could not do that had it not been the help from the Buncombe County Service Foundation. The next program is Project NAF. It stands for Nurturing Asheville and Area Families, and it is Buncombe County's Minority Infant Mortality Project. We serve African American pregnant and postpartum women because African American babies die at 2.4 times the rate of a white baby before their first birthday. Our program implements a case coordination process where we follow the mom from the time that they find out they're pregnant until the baby's second birthday. We have educational sessions. One reason I'm here by myself is because our staff is currently conducting what we call an empowerment session at the Shallow Center with pregnant women, postpartum women, their babies, and also we encourage men to attend. So that is going on while I speak. Because of funding from the Buncombe County Service Foundation, we use it as leverage funding because the amount that we receive from the state, there is no way that we can do the things that we do. For instance, like the radio broadcast today with WRES, is because of Buncombe County Service Foundation funding. And we just recently submitted an RFA with the state. We already know that the funding has already been reduced. We do not know the income for that or the approval. But because of that, we really need continued funding. And I want to close with a story of one of our participants who was reluctant to come to an empowerment session with a doctor who was going to talk about SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, because she had had a baby to die. Her family was sleeping on the floor. They pushed mattresses together and her baby died. I said, if you come, I promise I'll be there for you. No one will judge you. Not only did she come, but she spoke up and stated that what this meant to her. So thank you for what you have done, and we need you.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll hear from One Youth at a Time, Asheville Area Arts, and Asheville Greenworks.
Mr. Chairman and this distinguished Board of Commissioners, very outstanding administrative staff, and all assembled. I bring you greetings from, I almost said WNC Baptist Church, but One Youth at a Time. A youth program that has served this present age for over 20 years, 20 plus years. I was personally honored when our county asked if I would serve on the sustainability planning group. Out of that weeks of service, I gained so many insights and a better understanding how valuable our county is, but also how the need is there to serve. One Youth at a Time is made up of 5 beautiful programs. Homework help. Our favorite, the mentoring and tutoring piece. We have served many of our people in job training. Also, we have a very outstanding piece, domestic violence piece. 2 of your members, Chairman Solby, served on our board then. Also former Commissioner Patsy Keel. We're very proud of that piece, and we created that model. I think the county used some of that now. Enough is enough. I cannot say thank you enough to this board and to this great county. You have supported us. And I pray that you believed in us. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate all that you do, because I've had the opportunity to sit on many committees and boards, and I know how serious and how dedicated so many are. The great number of programs. We are blessed to serve with many of you, and I've known you across the years. I take my seat saying this. I cannot say enough for the faith community. I feel if our country, our state, our county and city, if we are to see great results, our faith community would have to be at the table.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Asheville Arts Council, Asheville Greenworks, Manna Food Bank.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Kitty Love. I'm the Executive Director of the Asheville Area Arts Council. We really appreciate the opportunity to be able to submit this request to you today. We've had an amazing year, a lot of growth, and a lot of new services and programs and opportunities have arisen. As you know, we are the designated partner in Buncombe County for state funding for arts organizations through the Grassroots Arts Program. And Buncombe County is one of 76 of 100 counties in North Carolina that also matches those funds from the state. So thank you for that. Through our grants program, we've delivered support to creative professionals in our community who have been advancing their careers through the arts and through the Regional Artist Project Grant, sending creative product out of Buncombe County, bringing revenue in. We've extended the Grassroots Arts Program with your help, providing employment opportunity for over 1,000 working artists, serving thousands of kids in school and out of school, and reaching over 34,000 audience members through the grant recipients programs. Our Neighborhood Enhancing Creative Placemaking Grant makes the arts accessible in the public. It enhances quality of life, and it focuses on the amelioration of social issues such as public safety, utilizing the power of the arts for problem solving in the community. Also, part of this request is the Buncombe Culture Alliance, on which Commissioner Gant represented the county. We brought together great leaders from across the county, across sectors, including the Chamber, CDB, Grant Creativity and Design, the city, river artists, arts educators, and great arts organizations to work on a strategy and a body of recommendations to further the county through the arts. We've been working on this report that you'll be able to see at our Creative Sector Summit, which will be complete and prepared for public release. Out of the work of the Buncombe Cultural Alliance, a very important project has emerged, and the BCA sent me to speak with county staff about it. It's the Cultural Resources Asset Inventory Project. Who are the artists and what are they making? Where are the arts education opportunities and who are offering those? What's the extent of the product creation that happens in Buncombe County? What is the scope of music being produced, fine art and craft, and do we have sufficient opportunity to reach market? This is the work that we need to do to be able to embrace the creative sector of our economy and to understand it well enough to implement strategy to grow jobs in that sector. And that's the different thing that we're asking for your support with this year that is supported by the work that the Buncombe Cultural Alliance has done. So we hope you understand the importance of that and will work with us to move that forward so we can do our job better. Thank you.
Thank you, Kitty. Next, we'll hear from Asheville Greenworks, Manor Food Bank, which will have 5 minutes because of multiple applications, and Asheville Buncombe Regional Sports Commission.
Good evening. My name is Dawn Chavez. I'm the Executive Director at Asheville Greenworks, and thank you for hearing me and our request today for funding. And it's an honor to be here and to be among all of these great organizations and programs that are serving our county. The mission of Asheville Greenworks is to improve the environment and quality of life of all the residents of Asheville and Buncombe County through volunteer-led, community-based conservation projects and hands-on environmental education programs. We thank you for your continued support. With the county's support and investment in our work, we've been able to meet our goals over the years and are looking forward to exceeding our goals for 2016, the current year, so we've set even more ambitious goals for 2017. Our program supports several of the county's sustainability goals, including citizen participation, partnerships for conservation and restoration of natural resources, pollution and waste prevention, and sustainable food systems. We are the only nonprofit organization working in the county that has a clear focus on waste prevention and pollution prevention as part of our core programs. We plan to grow in 2017 by expanding our countywide recycling events, including Hard to Recycle and Tire Amnesty Days. We're increasing our Hard to Recycle events from 5 events a year to 10, and that will help us to collect over 30 tons of material, diverting those materials from the county landfill. Our Tire Amnesty Days this past year nearly tripled the amount of tires that we collected. We're collecting 2,450 tires at a single event. And the Tire Amnesty Days also help keep tires out of our rivers and off our roadsides, but there still is a lot of pollution there. So we hold our river and roadside cleanups with volunteers. This year we plan to engage more than 2,000 volunteers in 150 projects. Finally, our waste reduction and environmental education programs, we plan to reach 6,000 children in 30 schools throughout the county, which is an increase from 2,000 this past year. Finally, our edible and shade tree plantings, we plan to plant 1,000 trees, including 2 new community orchards in low-income neighborhoods. They'll provide a source of local, fresh, healthy food. In summary, I'm asking the board to please approve our funding request and help keep Buncombe County clean and green in 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Next, we will hear from Manna Food Bank. You have 5 minutes. Asheville Buncombe Regional Sports and Evelyn Charity.
Good evening. My name is Cindy Threlfeld. I'm the Executive Director of Manna Food Bank. And I want to start by thanking the County Board for your support of the nonprofit community. It makes a great difference in our ability to work together. The vision of Manna Food Bank is a hunger-free Western North Carolina. In our newly approved strategic plan, we recognize that in order to achieve that, we need to do more than just increase the amount of healthy food that we distribute in the county. We must also work to disrupt the cycle of spending trade-offs that perpetuate the instability of low-income households. MANA will continue to explore how our expertise in food procurement and distribution can be aligned with organizations in the nonprofit, government, corporate, and philanthropic communities to be able to increase opportunities for self-sufficiency for the clients that we serve together. We submitted 2 proposals for your consideration. The first is for $50,000 to support the procurement and distribution of 180,000 pounds of food for people in need in Buncombe County. With those resources, we will reach approximately 34,000 clients by working through a network of more than 45 partner agencies, many of whom were listed in the materials that were distributed to you. The characteristics of the people we serve were described in a comprehensive Hunger in America study that was published by Feeding America in 2014. The Western North Carolina results outline the characteristics that were collected through over 400 interviews of people in Western North Carolina that come to MANA partner agencies for help. They included some of the following characteristics. 53% had unpaid medical bills. 76% made decisions on a monthly basis on whether to pay their utilities or purchase food. 48% had a household income of less than $10,000 a year. We have not seen a decline in the need for food, even though there are some indications of an improvement in the economy. In fact, we're concerned about the changes, the impact of the change in FNS food stamp eligibility that will limit access for able-bodied adults without disabilities, or ABODs as they're called. Because the provision to extend services to ABODs during a period of high unemployment was not renewed at the federal level, we anticipate an increase in the number of people coming to pantries and food programs for help. We expect to see that impact as early as April, which is why we requested a modest increase in funding from the county. MANA has a goal to not only provide more food to people in need, but to provide more healthy food. 30% of the food we distribute is fresh produce. It has taken a great deal of effort to reach that level. In May, we will complete major renovations on our facilities to be able to expand our freezer cooler capacity by 400% in order to continue on that path. Our second proposal is for $20,000 for FNS or food stamp outreach. We work in close collaboration with Buncombe County DSS in these efforts. MANA has 3.5 full-time equivalent outreach workers who are able to work directly with people potentially eligible for FNS benefits, but who may otherwise fall through the cracks because of a number of barriers, including seniors, low-income people without transportation, and those who may need extensive assistance with the application form. We reach those clients through MANA partner agencies and meal programs, plus a number of other avenues. Our outreach workers assist with the application or recertification form. The clients are responsible to sign the form and provide the required documentation. The county DSS office is always the final authority to review and approve those applications. I do need to make one correction in our proposal that estimates we would serve 1,716 families with FNS application assistance. That's actually our total for our service area, although at present 90% of the work that we do is in Buncombe County for FNS outreach, so that number will be more like 1,500 households. Just over a year ago, we started a MANA Food Helpline service that functions as a call center to screen and assist with applications over the phone. This has been quite successful in providing a more discreet and confidential service and is especially helpful to seniors and those without transportation. We coordinate that very closely with United Way's 211, and we can make transfer calls to 211, keep the person on the line and transfer them to 211 if they're needing assistance with other kinds of services. One additional important point, MANA has a contract with the State Department of Health and Human Services for USDA funds that provides 50% of the program cost. We are required to raise a 50% match, so the county funds are very, very helpful to us in helping to meet that match requirement. Thank you again for your support. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Cindy. Next, we'll hear from Ben with the Regional Sports Commission, Evelyn Charities, and then Delta House.
Good evening. Before I start, I just want to say how inspiring this is tonight to live in a community with this many good people that want to help and make this a better place to work and live. I'm proud to call many of these people in this room my partners and some of the things that we do and have a small role in that. Tonight, I want to share a little bit of update from the Sports Commission. 6 years ago, when we were asked by Buncombe County and the City of Asheville and the TDA and UNC Asheville to start bringing larger sporting events to the area, it was really done with two purposes. One, for a positive economic impact, bring people to town to leave some money behind when they come. And two, to create opportunities for our local people to recreate and participate in health and wellness activities. And over the past 6 years, we've been pretty successful at that. This past year, we have financially impacted our community to the tune of $20 million from events that we hosted. This past year, over 10,000 local people participated in events that we hosted or helped bring to the area. Those are pretty significant numbers that we're very proud of. It gets people off their couch, gets people out moving, recreating in a positive fashion. We thrive on partnerships. And in your packet, you will see some information on an event we just hosted in January, the USA Cycling Cyclocross National Championships. Held in early January in the Biltmore State. You'll see things in there that you probably wouldn't expect to see on a packet talking about a cycling event. We partnered with groups like the Outdoor Gear Builders Association for Western North Carolina to highlight the great products that are made in the outdoor industry here locally. We work with the Economic Development Coalition on that as well. We do a lot to try to showcase our nonprofits and allow opportunities for them to raise funds at these events. And I tried to get a stat on how much funds is raised, and we kind of lost count at 10,000 or so throughout the year through different events, but we're proud of that work that we do. At that Cycling National Championship, over 400 local people participated and about 2,000 others from around the country. We do a lot. I want you to see it firsthand, though. In a couple weeks, March the 5th, is the SoCon Downtown Yearbowl during the SoCon Basketball Championship. That morning, we give out 600 basketballs to children in need in our community. We have a pep rally for them at Pack Square, and we allow them to come and see some college basketball, probably for their first time, for no charge. So we hope you come and see that event, meet those children, and get a feel for the kind of different side of things that we do at the Sports Commission. We are frequently just viewed as a group that is only to do with tourism. But when you start thinking about 10,000 people that participate in our events locally every year, it's really much more than just tourism, and we ask that you renew your support. This past year, you supported the SoCon tournament and did not support the commission, and we're asking that you continue that support of the commission so that we can look for the next big event and continue to improve our health and wellness.
Thank you, Ben. Next, we'll hear from Bill Murdoch and Evelyn.
Chairman Gann, Commissioners, thank you again so much for allowing us to be here. Today we'll talk about so many things that Evelyn does, but one of the greatest things, probably one of our flagship programs, is the graduation initiative, which actually started right here with Buncombe County Commissioners years ago. And just to tell you that when we first started the graduation initiative, the dropout rate in Buncombe County was about the size of an elementary school every single year. The numbers you'll be hearing here in a second, and when we are officially released by Dr. Baldwin, will show that we not only have the highest graduation rate in Buncombe County ever, but also the lowest dropout rate in Buncombe County. So it's a great honor to work with Dr. Baldwin and with Kay Lamb and the Graduation Initiative team, and just seeing how the future is so much brighter for so many students. They realize that that door they're trying to get through is locked on the inside and not on the outside. So I'd like to introduce Kay Lamb, who's the Executive Director of the Graduation Initiative.
Thank you. I'm so pleased to be here this evening to share with you the impact of your investment in the Graduation Initiative. Since the inception of the Graduation Initiative in the 2005-06 school year, the Buncombe County School 4-year cohort graduation rate has improved from 71.5% of our students graduating to 85.1% graduating in 2014-15. Using those same numbers for comparison, we have moved from 444 dropouts in that first year to only 189 last year, the fewest in 15 years of tracking this data. This equates to an overall 57% decrease in dropouts since you began funding the Graduation Initiative and our partnership with other charities. To better understand the financial impact of these numbers, it is important to note that each graduate confers a benefit to taxpayers of $275,000 over the graduate's lifetime. This saving is realized through increased tax revenue, fewer healthcare costs, reduced criminal justice costs, and less public assistance. The decrease in dropout numbers each year since 2006 represents a potential savings to the county that is well over $285 million. In just the first semester of this year, the Graduation Initiative has served over 1,200 students and made 652 direct referrals to the Evelyn Charities for assistance for these students and their families, trying to keep them in school. The 1,200 students served, 96% are still in school or have graduated during our January mid-year graduation ceremony. You can easily see that your support has made an enormous impact in this community in the past. We are very grateful for that support, but there is still work to be done. We need your support to continue our efforts to reach a 90% graduation rate, which is our goal. I'll leave you with a quote. The best economic stimulus package is a high school diploma.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Bill. Next, we'll hear from Delta House, the Institute of Parity Achievement in Big Ivy.
Chairman Gant and County Commissioners, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present today for Delta House Life Developments of Asheville Incorporated. We are a nonprofit tax exempt organization. This is our first time applying, and I'm gonna talk fast to get everything in. Delta House Leap for Success is, LEAP stands for Learning Through Expanded Academics and Arts Program. And success is helping the kids to find success in and out of school. We focus on academics, homework help, skills development, tutoring, mentoring, and then the students are involved in enrichment. And that includes, we have a jazz band, we're in partnership with Leaf Streets and Schools. Delta House Jazz Band, the students have performed at Preservation Hall twice, master classes, and performed in a festival in Louis Armstrong Park. We've taken them to New Orleans twice. The majority of the students we serve are special needs students. 98% of the students are on free or reduced lunch. They live below poverty. The parents cannot afford to pay for services. We operate Monday through Thursday. The students come after school. We serve kids K through 12th grade. The students are bused to Asheville Middle School and they get off and they come over to Delta House. And we have a site in St. Paul's Church in West Asheville and Hopkins Chapel Church right off of Boatcatcher Road. Well, anyway, Poplar Street. The students come in, they have exercise, and then from 4 to 5, we have teachers and tutors that come in and help them with academics. And from 5 to 6:15, they have enrichment. So when the kids leave, unless they don't do it or turn it in, their homework is done. One of the things that have saved a lot of problems and stress with parents, we are able to help the parents with math. That's been one of the stressful things. A lot of kids eat lunch at 10:30. So when they come to Delta House, we used to get the little federal snacks. That's not enough. We feed the kids real meals. And Delta House is like a house, and we have positive role models. Our focus is to help the kids improve their grades and go to pass to the next grade level, improve their behavior, improve their attendance, and be creative. We have visual arts, we have drumming, dance, they doing dance and stepping, and we need your help. We serve 100 kids and we need your help real bad.
Thank you, Shirley. Next, we'll hear from Parity Achievement, Big Ivy, and then Help Me.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Joanna Greer-McEachin. I'm the Executive Director for the Asheville Buncombe Institute of Parity Achievement, also known as ABIPA. When we think about equity, we think about it in two ways. The simple definition of equity is fairness or justice in the way that people are treated. When we think about finances, it's the value of the piece of property after any debts that remain are to be paid for. But have you ever thought about equity in the community as a two-sided coin? When I think about equity, I think about the value of a person's skills and influence after receiving services and education. ABIPA connects citizens and communities with health and human services and other resources available in Buncombe County. However, we go deeper. The time and services that we provide ensures that people are justly treated and have equal access. However, we are making an investment in the holistic health of individuals, which has invaluable return for a healthier community. Our community service navigators trained by ABIPA are unique because not only do we equip them with the extra layer of training and experience by being community health workers, we, through this program, were able to address social determinants of health in addition to direct health that is impacted by people simply trying to survive. We meet people where they are by going door to door and making ourselves available in community settings. We don't wait for the clients to come to a BIPA office. We go to them where they are. This is demonstrated in systematic service delivery to Deeper View Apartments, Livingston, Erskine Street, Walton Street Apartments, Hillcrest, and the Shiloh community, and the area African American churches, all with 2 community service navigators. That's a lot. And so our request today is to actually increase that to 3 community service navigators and additional support from our nurse, Kathy Avery. The reason for this is that we know that because of the prevalent need of our services we have to offer through our expanded collaboration with the Asheville Housing Authority, we now provide weekly education as one of our one-on-one services that impact residents dealing with chronic diseases at the Arthur Edgington Center. Last year, 2014-15, we actually served 422 community service navigator clients and addressed over 647 pathways, and we are on track to exceed this year. And because of this, again, we know that we really need to work together as a community. From last year, we actually served 349 people in our pop-ups. This year it's up to 1,345. This has really been the perfect reflection of good investment in the collective impact leveraged through invaluable community collaborations. The citizens that we encounter have complex issues that require more attention than handing them a brochure or giving them a phone call, number to call. The support from the county in our efforts has been invaluable because we have been able to leverage your investment in us to bolster the vision that our founder, Dr. Charles Blair, had to address both sides of the coin of equity. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Next, we'll hear from Big Ivy. You'll have 5 minutes, 2 applications, held made in Buncombe County Schools.
Good afternoon. My name is Lynn Bevel, and I am the resource coordinator at the Big Ivy Community Center. And the Big Ivy Community Center has been the center of social and recreation life for the Barnardsville area for over 40 years and serves approximately 8,500 people in the area, predominantly middle and low income. We work in partnership with the Buncombe County Parks and Recreation, Buncombe County DSS to supply programs such as Medicaid, food stamps, adult services, and health fairs for residents in the North Buncombe area. We also partner with United Way, Boy Scouts, and we work with Evelyn Charities on their heating assistance. Some services are essential because so many of our residents are unable to travel into Asheville for the same services. In addition to the social services provided, the Big Ivy Community Center provides recreation facilities including a swimming pool, walking trails, baseball field, volleyball, basketball, and we have a thrift store that we operate on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We also have a food pantry which we conduct the second, third, fourth, or fifth Tuesday of every month. The participation in the food pantry has grown every year, and we average between 5 and 2 new participants each week. The last quarter of 2015, the total individuals served was over 400, and the total pounds of food that was distributed was over 12,000 pounds. I thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Lynn. Next, we'll hear Help Me, Buncombe County Schools, and then Our Voice.
Good evening. I'm the Executive Director for Help Me, and I'm very happy to be able to speak with you all tonight. I want to start by reiterating my thanks to this commission for your continued support of the development of the Buncombe County Family Justice Center. We already know that even in its inception, the Family Justice Center has been recognized, and our work here in Buncombe County has been recognized as a statewide model, which has been slated for replication by the North Carolina Governor's Crime Commission. So we know that we're doing something right. HelpMate is Buncombe County's nonprofit that provides services to victims and survivors of domestic violence. We've been in the county for almost 35 years, providing crisis services to include a 24-hour hotline, counseling services, both group and individual, trauma-focused counseling that's based on evidence-based models. We provide case management and service navigation services for survivors to connect them with the resources in the community they need to rebuild safe, stable, healthy lives that are free from violence. We have an emergency shelter which provides safe housing for more than 200 adult and child victims of domestic violence every year. We've been a leader in Buncombe County's impressive effort to overhaul the service system that responds to trauma victims, including victims of domestic violence. As a part of that process, we've developed and maintained an incredible amount of partnerships which have really changed, both deepening and broadening the services that are offered by HelpMate. For example, in addition to our participation in the Family Justice Center, we're working with law enforcement agencies across the county now to engage in the lethality assessment protocol, which connects victims from the scene of a crime to our hotline service. We have irrefutable proof that this is saving lives because we went from having 8 lives lost in 2013 to having 1 life lost in the 2 years since. We know that we're saving lives. And this is a time when we need to continue to keep our foot on the gas in terms of serving trauma survivors in a deep way, because we know that exposure to domestic violence in a home is the leading adverse childhood experience that creates long-term negative impacts on children in our community. If we can continue to provide strong, safe services to adult and child victims, then we can make an investment that pays itself back in generation after generation of Buncombe County citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Buncombe County Schools, Our Voice, and Children's First.
Hi, my name is Robin Pass, and I'm the Career Academy Advocate at Irwin High School. Thank you for your time today. People often ask me what it means to be an educational advocate. Working to support students who are at risk at one of the most diverse schools in Western North Carolina, with over 1,300 students, I can only paint a broad picture of what I get to do each day. In working with my 130-plus Career Academy students, I am tasked with supporting these at-risk students to overcome the struggles and circumstances that, while real for most adolescents, are even more real for those facing the challenges that make them at risk. Studies show that one of the most influential factors in a student's school career is the development of a connected relationship in that school. I embrace the belief that treating each child as a person and not just a student is critical in helping them find that success. Creating relationships with these young people is a vital part of what I do each day. In the past 2 weeks alone, some of my duties have included working with a young lady who came to me in tears, expressing her understandable frustration after not sleeping for several days due to conflicts in the home. I met with another student recently, a young man who's struggling to keep up with his academics as he works around 30-plus hours a week as one of the main breadwinners in his family. And just the other day, I met with a gifted young man enrolled in English 2 whose learning disability in writing makes assignments like his required essay quite daunting. Just as recently, I met with the 80-plus staff members that work at Irwin to review our students that we share in order to support their efforts. One moment worth noting was a conversation I had with a math teacher who was shocked to find 3 of my Career Academy students in his Math 3 honors course. These 3 students, not mathematicians by nature, but by the support and the encouragement of the Career Academy, are willing to try their hand at his class. I believe we support and grow our students to often become more than they believe they can be. We want to see them graduate, but we also want to grow them into employable adults and contributing citizens. Career Academy not only creates relationships with students and staff, but the community. Our partnerships with companies like Biltmore help shape our developing workforce through our summer work program and even employment prospects. Our partnership with Goodwill and Advanced Manufacturing opens doors for our students, and the revolving door of guest speakers and exposure to career options provides a foundation of relevance for my career-ready students. I'm proud of the work that's being done in Career Academy and so proud of the diverse group of young adults that I work with. I'm also incredibly excited at the prospect of extending our program to the middle school next year to help students at one of the most critical times in shaping students' belief in their academic success. In closing, I would love to offer you all the opportunity to come to my school as a guest speaker, or better yet, spend a day with one of my students. Thank you.
Robin. First, Support Center.
Might interject our voice.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay, thank you. Hi, good evening. My name is Angelica Wen, and I'm the Executive Director of Our Voice, which is Buncombe County's Rape Crisis and Prevention Center. For over 41 years, we have provided free and confidential services to victims of rape and sexual violence in Buncombe County. But in addition, what we've done as well is create one of the best prevention education programs in the state of North Carolina. I come to you first and foremost, like my sister from my sister agency, April, to really thank you for you investing in Buncombe County to make this county one of the safest counties in the state of North Carolina, if not the nation, around providing victim-centered services to survivors of domestic and sexual violence. We have done a tremendous effort the past year with all of our partners, and we continue to look forward to see what else we can do around working with this population. Having said that, Our Voice in the past few years have created very specific programs to help individuals who are particularly vulnerable to sexual violence. We've created a Latino project, which since its inception in 2012 has served over 150,000, has increased over 150% in terms of individuals accessing our services. And our men's counseling program, which has seen a growth of 400% since inception in 2014. Now I come to you to ask for support to fund a counselor that will work directly with another marginalized community, which are children in foster care. We know that over 50% of children in foster care have experienced some form of sexual trauma, and we want to be able to connect them with services so that they can be put on the path to healing. If you support our application, we will be able to provide counseling to at least 70 kids out of the 300 that are currently in the system, which will result with promoting positive coping mechanisms, minimizing the impact of trauma on their brain's development, and increase the resiliency and likelihood of these teens leading productive lives. Another component of our application we ask you to support is our prevention efforts. We've done a phenomenal job on providing direct services to survivors of sexual violence. But I can't help but think, if we didn't have perpetrators, we wouldn't have victims. And so at this point, I respectfully request for support around our prevention efforts to increase the hours of our prevention educator from 30 hours to 37.5, which will allow for the additional education of 720 students. But in additional, I would ask that you support a train-the-trainer position that will allow us to be able to go into communities that are particularly marginalized and train those community leaders to themselves become ambassadors on the prevention of sexual violence. We know it works if it comes within the community. So thank you for your time, and I hope you support our proposal.
Thank you. From Children First and Sports Center, and then Mountain Health.
Good evening, I'm Allison Jordan, Executive Director of Children First Communities and Schools, where we believe that all children should have the opportunity to thrive. Yet, as many of us in this room know, over 1 in 4 of our children in Buncombe County are living in poverty. Communities and Schools National Office, along with Public Opinion Strategies, recently did a poll surveying over 700 teachers. And those teachers, when asked to identify and rank problems facing their local schools, said that 88% of them said that poverty is a barrier. 88% of teachers surveyed said that poverty is a barrier to learning. Last year, you heard from Adala, And as you know, I brought a picture so that you remember her. And as you know from hearing her, our work is about relationships. Badala is now in the 6th grade at Evelyn Intermediate, and because of your investment, we were able to put a part-time student support specialist in Evelyn Intermediate School, Estes Elementary School, and that's in addition to also serving Johnston Elementary and Emma Elementary. Thank you for that. Bill Milliken, our founder of Communities in Schools, says that it is relationships, not programs, that change children. A great program simply creates the environment for healthy relationships between children and adults. And children thrive when adults care about them in a one-on-one relationship. Children First Communities in Schools Student Support Specialist Program, formerly known as Success Coordinators, is one of those great programs. Communities in Schools is the nation's largest and most effective dropout prevention program dedicated to keeping kids in school. And recent research from a third-party evaluator shows that validates that this model works. While we do not receive funding from our state and national office, we do receive a lot of support in areas such as evidence-based practices for our student support specialists. We receive a data management system, high-quality professional development, as well as consistently evaluating and enhancing our model, hence the name change. We combine that support with local research, local knowledge, local leadership to work with local children and their families. Children like Badala. Badala has worked with her student support specialist, Courtney, on math, and in fact was so proud of her grades that on a most recent home visit ran when Courtney got to the door to show her her report card. Badala is thriving. What I want you to remember from today is that we take local staff, local leadership, local partners, and we know what our community needs. Furthermore, it works, and we are backed by national research. Thank you for your investment in children like Badala last year, and I hope that you will make that same investment this year.
Thank you, Allison. Mountain Housing and then the YWCA.
Thank you, Chairman Gant, esteemed commissioners. Thank you again for this time, and thank you for your support of our programs last year. I'm Sharon Oxendine, the Western Women's Business Center Director at the Support Center. As a program of the Support Center, the Western Women's Business Center provides high-quality technical assistance and programs that reduce barriers and serve as a catalyst to the success of entrepreneurs, especially those who are socially and economically disadvantaged in the western region of North Carolina. Our vision is to create economic opportunity for all people. As part of our mission, we do provide technical assistance, workshops, one-on-one counseling, and access to small business lending. Since the funding support from Buncombe County last year, we were able to serve over 194 clients from Buncombe County at the Western Women's Business Center. Most of these being women, but with over a third of those being minorities, and the rest being veterans. We've served over 30 artists by providing business plan training and QuickBooks courses for creative businesses. We also sponsored and supported Goodway, MedWig, Venture Local, and offered workshops monthly for women at no charge. In Buncombe County alone, since July 2015, we have made over $624,000 in loans. The majority of those loans were made to minorities. This has resulted in 12 jobs being created or sustained. The request we have for you this year will allow us to continue to create jobs and work as a partnership with Buncombe County. One of the things that we were able to do this year was that I was able to hire an associate director and be able to offer services to our Latino program. And I'd like to introduce her, Zoe Anuel.
Hi, thank you for having us. I'm the Latino Program Director for the Support Center, and this program has been open only for 90 days. And our goal is to be able to provide all the services that we have in English for small businesses in Spanish. Some of those services are the learning side of it, is the training. We have classes for businesses that want to start or businesses that are in the process of growing. We also are providing access to capital for those businesses that are not approved by a bank. We can do loans anywhere from $500,000 to $250,000. And when I say that those loans are not approved by a bank, is it can be businesses that are completely new, or businesses that have no credit history at all, or Latino businesses that have no credit in the United States. I wanted to mention, I did a little bit of research. We have 54 million people, Latino, since 2013. In 2.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You got a lot to say.
Oh,
You can just close up.
thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Scott and YWCA, and then Habitat for Humanity.
I'm Scott Dedman. I'm Executive Director of Housing Opportunities. Chairman Gant, County Commissioners, thank you for your support for people in need of basic health and human services, including a safe, affordable home in a good neighborhood. At recent meetings of the Health and Human Services Board, which several of you attended, we were presented with stark figures showing an annual increase in affordable housing need of 250 to 500 households per year. That's not the total need, which exceeds 15,000 households. That's the annual increase in our affordable housing need, 250 to 500 households. At MHO, we're working to meet more of this need every year. We have built over 600 apartments, which we own, rent, maintain, and manage, saving each renter household an average of more than $300 per month in rent. That's over $2 million per year, which low-income and working families can spend on their other essential needs. In December, we opened 55 new apartments for elderly residents in Leicester. At least 10 of the residents are veterans, 6 are formerly homeless veterans. Eagle Marketplace downtown is moving ahead, and we appreciate the patience of our community partners. It is moving ahead without asking for additional funds from the city, county, or any government beyond the original funding commitments. Near downtown, we are working with the Asheville Housing Authority toward construction of 200 to 400 mixed-income apartments at Lee Walker Heights in an excellent location. Outside the city, in Swannanoa, we have purchased land on Highway 70 where we will build at least 60 workforce and affordable apartments. In Weaverville, we have purchased land for 24 or more single-family homes, and we have land for more homes in West Asheville and South Asheville. In homeownership preservation, emergency home repair, we are saving homes and saving lives for over 100 low-income homeowners each year. When an elderly widow has a 30-year-old furnace which has a cracked heat exchanger emitting carbon monoxide into her home, and MHO replaces that dangerous furnace with a new, safe, energy-efficient furnace, we are saving a home and saving a life. So when an organization, MHO, is serving more than 1,600 people during each year and serving them in life-changing and life-saving ways, we would hope and ask that the growing scale of our work and the huge difference we make in the lives of the people we serve will be recognized with your strongest possible support. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
And you have the fact sheet in your materials.
Yes, sir. Next, we'll hear from YWCA. You have multiple applications, so we'll give 5 minutes. Then we'll hear from the Habitat for Humanity, and then All Souls Counseling.
Thank you. My name is Beth Maska, and I'm the CEO of the YWCA of Asheville. Chairman Gant and County Commissioners, thank you so much for your support last year, which helped us serve over 450 families through 4 of the YW programs. We are very pleased with our outcomes, and I want to share a story to help you understand how our programs are interconnected and work to serve families seamlessly with our nonprofit partners. Mary came to the YW last fall. She was referred from HelpMate as she was fleeing a very violent relationship, and she needed our free drop-in childcare. Drop-in childcare is now called empowerment childcare because it empowers people who are going back to school looking for work or receiving essential support from our partner agencies like HelpAid, Fiscal Legal Services, and or the Department of Health and Human Services. In Mary's case, she needed care for her 2-year-old while she looked for work and permanent housing. Mary worked with our Empowerment Child Care Coordinator, Nancy Nunez, who is also a bilingual community service navigator. With Nancy's help, Mary applied for and got Section 8 housing, and more importantly, she got connected with other resources at the YW. Her daughter received a child care voucher and was able to move from short-term empowerment child care to our 5-star early learning program. Best of all, after volunteering with us, Mary was hired to work in our 5-star school-age program, which is now called our primary enrichment program. Mary's always wanted to be a teacher and loved working with our students after school, providing a healthy snack, helping with homework, and supervising activities. As Mary got settled into our new life and community at the YW, she also learned about another opportunity, our Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World class. This 16-week curriculum is an evidence-based program to help women break out of poverty. The 2.5-hour class includes a healthy dinner, access to empowerment childcare if needed, and a $20 per class stipend upon graduation from the program. At the graduation celebration in December, Mary shared how the class had challenged her and changed her. She shared how she learned to address conflict more proactively and maturely, and she talked about how her daughter is thriving in her early learning program. She noted that single parenting is hard, and she was thankful for the skills she learned from the other staff. She said it's a real bonus to learn to be a better parent while at work. And she talked about her dreams of improving her education and income to support her family. In closing, Mary shared how she always looked over her shoulder because she expected her abuser to show up. But she felt safe at the YW. With much relief, she shared that she learned that her abuser was recently convicted and sentenced to 20 years. Mary continues to check in with the Director of Women's Empowerment, who supervises the Getting Ahead program. The director recently said, "This young woman is going to make it. She's on the top of her situation and working her plan. I can't wait to see where she is in a few years." Not all of her success stories are so dramatic and interconnected, but I thought you would want to share in the joy of Mary's story. It highlights how we work to live into our mission of eliminating racism and empowering women every day by addressing barriers to childcare, education, wellness, and employment. This year, we are asking for support from 2 additional programs, our Getting Ahead in the Just Getting By World program and our primary enrichment program. The first 2 pilot classes of Getting Ahead were filled to capacity, and we currently have a 3rd class full and a waiting list. Our first-year outcomes are impressive. Of the 30 who started the program, 87%, or 26, graduated. 73% have addressed their primary goals of eliminating debt, finding housing, or securing a better-paying job, and 96% are checking in monthly with our director. We have applied to the United Way for longer-term support and hope that the county will also partner with us to make this a long-term program available to the community. Finally, we are asking for support for the primary enrichment program, which provides after-school programming, teacher workday care, and summer camp to 100 school-age children from all over Buncombe County. Due to the changes in the state voucher system in 2014, a third of our families lost their vouchers when the income eligibility changed from 200% of poverty to 133% of poverty. While we advocated to change that policy, we subsidized those families to a tune of $60,000 that year so we would not interrupt care in the middle of the school year. When we could no longer continue to subsidize those families, they left and we lost a third of our program. We are implementing program changes to reduce costs, improve services, and create a sustainable program long-term. We hope you will give serious consideration to support this effort as we continue to provide this essential service to working families. Affordable child care is truly the biggest barrier to single parents achieving economic security. Thank you for your time and your kind consideration of our request, and thank you for your service, especially today, as you listen to so many needs of our community. Yours is not an easy task, and I appreciate your time and commitment to community service.
Thank you, Beth. All Souls and Asheville Museum of Science.
Good afternoon, or evening now. Can you get a stretch break yet? I really appreciate you all listening to so many of my amazing colleagues. I'm Laura Collins, and I'm with Asheville Area Habitat for Humanity. And Hugh Lippum is here, our home repair manager. Most people know of Habitat as a home builder, and that we are. In fact, we're the largest builder of green-built NC homes in the state of North Carolina. But we're really an organization with 5 different programs. In addition to building affordable housing, we're also a lender, providing 0% interest mortgages with no down payments. And we are a vibrant living wage employer that provides low-cost goods to our community while keeping over 1,600 tons of materials out of landfills annually, and providing a sustainable income stream to our building program. But it's the two other programs that I'm asking for money for today. First, our housing services and homeowner education program, and second, our home repair program. We're very grateful that we received help for both of these programs last year from the community funding. Our first grant is for housing services and includes outreach, intake, and assessment of every application that comes to us for both home ownership and home repair, which adds up to hundreds of applications each year that need to be assessed for eligibility in numerous categories, including, of course, income. Then we provide underwriting and a comprehensive, in-depth home ownership education program. This program is unique in Buncombe County and is continually changing and growing to adapt to the shifting economic realities of our families. We collaborate with at least 5 other nonprofits, many of whom are sitting here today, and we hope to provide the best possible information for our prospective homeowners so that once they close on their homes, they're not only financially ready to pay their mortgages, but also to save for the future, to understand how to best maintain their homes, to improve their health and education, and to be good neighbors and engaged citizens. And we believe this holistic approach is what makes our program so successful. Our housing services staff include 2 certified housing counselors, one of whom is also a licensed mortgage underwriter. We have met or exceeded all of our metrics that we presented in last year's grant this year, and we're asking for the same amount for that program. Our second grant request is for our home repair program. Last year was the first time that we had received funding for this program from the community funding process. We received $15,000, which we expended before the end of October this year, or only 4 months into the fiscal year, by completing 5 home repairs in the county outside the city of Asheville. Because demand for affordable repairs in the county remains high, and because all of our other home repair money, all of the sources of revenue we have are designated to be used only within the city of Asheville, we're asking for an increase in the county repair funding so that we can continue to respond to requests for repairs throughout Buncombe County. In fiscal year 15, 86% of our home repair clients were elderly or disabled, and the average percentage of the area median income for all our home repair clients was 44%. We have actively pursued other funding sources for county repairs, including private foundations, and we will continue to do so. But at this time, we have no other way to fund our county repairs, so we've had to reduce our outreach for repairs outside the city limits. We hope that you'll be willing to invest funding, increase funding, and invest in this most vulnerable population, elderly homeowners, disabled homeowners, so that we can preserve the affordable housing that already exists in Buncombe County, and more Buncombe County residents can continue to live safely in their homes. Thank you so much.
Next, we'll hear from All Souls Counseling, Asheville Museum of Science, and Pisgah Legal Services.
My name is McNair Ezzard, and I'm the Executive Director at All Souls Counseling Center. All Souls Counseling Center has provided counseling and psychiatric services to individuals of any age, couples and families who are uninsured and underinsured since the year 2000. Fees are based on a sliding scale, but no one has ever turned away for inability to pay. Outpatient services are provided by licensed therapists and a board-certified psychiatrist who donate 70% of their care. They have diverse specialties such as depression, anxiety, addiction, trauma, domestic violence, PTSD, relationships, grief, job stress, stress management, parenting issues, and LGBTQ needs. The Counseling Center is a place of last resort for many people, where care is easily accessed through one phone call. Many other behavioral health organizations serve people with Medicaid or Medicare or other health insurance. The Counseling Center is there for people without those financial resources or insurance. We think there is a definite need in our community for what we do. 17% of Buncombe County citizens are uninsured, 38% of the county has been identified as low income, and local 211 data shows mental health and addiction services as the third highest need from college. And Buncombe County's suicide rate per population remains at 16.8% high, above the state average of 12.2%. The Counseling Center is a partner in helping the county achieve their sustainability plan by directly increasing access to mental health care. Since 2000, the Counseling Center has provided services to well over 12,000 clients, resulting in improved health, job retention, and helping to prevent overutilization of more costly community services such as emergency rooms in jails by people with unmet mental health needs. One result of our quality assurance program, utilizing a recent satisfaction survey with clients, showed 96% of respondents rated our counselors' ability to help them with their concern as very good, the highest score available. Since my arrival at the Counseling Center in October 2015, I've seen numerous incidents of why the Counseling Center is needed. One incident is of a man who called up on behalf of his 18-year-old daughter. He said, "I had quit my job over a year ago, so we don't have any insurance. I quit my job so I could take care of my wife who had cancer, who has since died." He continued to say, "It's been very rough and my daughter isn't handling the loss very well. I'm hoping to get her some help." During the time of this funding, we project that 1,500 new clients will access mental health care at All Souls. We project 350 clients will access our psychiatric services and clinical coordination. We've also made a $30,000 request for a capital expenditure to replace outdated windows to make our 115-year-old building more energy efficient. Thank you for your consideration of our funding request.
Next, we'll hear from Asheville Museum of Science, Physical Legal, and then Pack Square Cultural Partnership. And Amos has 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Anna Priest, the Executive Director of the Colburn Earth Science Museum, and tonight I'm going to do something a little different and ask the commissioners a couple of trivia questions. So get ready. Do you know the second and third oldest rivers in the world?
The Deer River isn't one of them.
Yes.
Right. And the Nile?
The Nile is the oldest, the New is the second, and the third is the French Broad. So 2 out of 3 are located here in North Carolina. Second question, what are the 2 most abundant elements in our Earth's crust?
Iron? No?
No?
What is iron?
This is a tough one. Oxygen is the first, and silicon is the second. And together they can make silicon dioxide, which is commonly found as sand, but can also be in the form of quartz, amethyst, and opal, all of which can be found in western North Carolina, along with 37 other gems and minerals. These are the type of science questions our students are expected to know the answers to per North Carolina science standards. The Colburn Earth Science Museum, soon to be the Asheville Museum of Science, has supported Buncombe County and 13 surrounding counties with supplemental science education since I can remember. Growing up in Asheville, I thoroughly enjoyed field trips to the Colburn, and I attribute it to why I became an environmental scientist. Now, as the executive director of the Colburn, I see the impact that we have on our visitors daily. In 2015, we provided over 600,000 learning hours to K-12 students from 54 different schools. However, our demographics are pretty closely split between adults at 44% and children at 56%. The Colburn strives to provide equitable educational opportunities for all ages, not only from our daily attendance and field trips, but through special programming, including preschool science, Lego competitions, Super Science Saturdays, adult evening seminars, the YMCA after-school program, and spring break and summer camps. We provide numerous quality recreational activities to our visitors, and our goal is to provide a fun and learning environment for all ages. Our new facility opening this summer will provide just that, and as you can see in your handouts, we are turning into a fully interactive, state-of-the-art science center. We will expand our mission beyond earth science to include STEM skills and life sciences. This expansion will allow us to make a greater impact on our community, become a sustainable business, and to reach a broader audience with our new high-profile location. A few exhibits that we are really excited about include an updated Colburn Hall of Minerals with an interactive tutorial display, a STEM lab with a makerspace where you can play with snap circuits, robotics, and even chemistry experiments, a Carolina Forest exhibit, which doubles as a climbing gym for the little ones, a T-Rex and fossil dig, and a hands-on French Broad water feature, which also describes our geologic history. All of these exhibits will educate the public to appreciate the Earth and its natural resources, but also how they can reduce their environmental footprint. If you've been following along, that is 3 major ways that we directly relate to the Sustainability Annual Report for Buncombe County. Thank you for your recent investment of $50,000 towards phase 1 of our construction. Since then, we have raised another $18,200, allowing us to finalize our floor plan and begin demolition this week. In total, we've raised over $680,000, well over halfway towards our $1.2 million goal. Today, we are asking Buncombe County to invest an additional $125,000 towards our campaign. $75,000 will go towards capital support, which includes our new exhibits and phase 2 of our construction, and $50,000 will go towards operational support so that we can increase our staffing and educational programming. Asheville needs a premier science museum, which can provide family-friendly activities to our downtown community and showcase the science behind our region, which brings so many of us here. Your investment today will help our momentum to make this project a success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Physical Legal Services, Pack Square Cultural, Rob?
My name is Robin Merrill, and I'm Managing Attorney at Pittsburgh Legal Services. Thank you all for your ongoing and historic support of our organization. We are one of the most far-reaching and effective agencies in this county addressing issues of poverty and domestic violence. In 2015, we helped approximately 8,000 Buncombe County residents in crisis, and that was a 6% increase over the number of people we helped in 2014. With the support from you and other sources, we also brought $12.9 million in quantifiable benefits to our clients in 2015. And that's a 5-to-1 return on investment. We also secured many, many outcomes that can't be quantified, but that pay dividends to our community and the improved lives of the children, seniors, families, and individuals that we serve. We are asking for our Child and Family Protection and Self-Sufficiency Project, where we propose to serve 6,000 Buncombe County residents in 2016. And we're going to do that in 3 primary ways. And 3 primary ways that affect basic needs. The first one is safety from abuse. And we appreciate so much being partners in the Family Justice Center. And we can't wait to actually get in it and be there with everyone. But through this project, we help families and individuals suffering from domestic violence to secure all of the things that they need. Protection from abuse, their home, possibly custody of their children, the right to property, safe, stable, and affordable housing. Those of you that know me know that this is the issue dearest to my heart, and it's an incredibly important issue here in Buncombe County. Unfortunately, this year we have less money for our homelessness prevention project than ever. Well, in 4 years, which seems like forever. And the result of that is that we've had to shift a full FTE away from homelessness prevention work. And for us, that's about 300 cases in a year. So that's families we're not going to be able to help. And we're hoping that with your funding that we can restore that position. We also are going to help people through income and health care. And that's helping families secure the public benefits and other resources that they need, that they are eligible for, including subsistence income, health care, and food assistance. Often people don't know that they need an attorney, and they don't often understand why, but when we can work with them, we can make a true difference in their lives. I've only got 20 seconds left, so I'm only going to tell you one of the 3 stories that I had. But it's a lady that I learned about today from one of our domestic violence attorneys who was severely injured when she was abused. Her foot was injured. She works in food service. She's had to cut down her hours at work, which is having a detrimental economic impact on her. And What we were able to do that is different is encourage her and help her with the criminal remedies in her case, which open the access to victim compensation.
Thank you. Our cultural partnership, Homeward Bound, and then Asheville Community Christian Ministry, ABCCM.
Hi, good evening. John Ellis, Diana Theater, and Myers, the Asheville Art Museum. Thank you for your service, your attention, and your endurance tonight. We appreciate it greatly. The Diana Worthing Theater and the Asheville Art Museum stand together united as Paxburg Cultural Partnership. And we're here to respectfully request your continuation of a long-standing public-private partnership that goes back to the late 1980s, early 1990s. That was a partnership that successfully created a cultural complex at the heart of the county with a dual purpose of not only being an arts and education center, but also as a significant catalyst for downtown revitalization. The county's initial investment in this partnership at that time was larger than the amount we are asking for this year, but at a time when the county's budget was half of what it is this year. Now, Pam and I weren't around during those early conversations. It seems like we were, but we haven't been here that long. But we can imagine a conversation to say why this investment, and to say because if this project is successful and downtown does what it thinks it does, property values will increase, property taxes will increase, sales tax will increase, so that this investment is returned to the county every year. And not only returned, but showing dividends of increased revenue. And I think that promise has been fulfilled. That partnership continues today as with your support, the public support, for the basic ongoing needs of that building, heat, light, utilities, janitorial, minor repairs, etc. And then with our private funding, our donors, we make that facility come alive. And we make it come alive with programs that serve more than 160,000 children, students, residents from every corner of this county and beyond. And now, it's her turn.
No, he's better at it than I. This partnership with your continued support is stronger now than ever before. The partnership has entered a new phase with the expansion and renovation of the facility to create a major art museum with expanded exhibition, galleries, education facilities, and program areas well underway, and to center for the performing arts with multiple venues on the horizon. Both the theater and the museum will continue to provide educational and inspirational programming for Buncombe County during the construction and renovation of the facility, and county support of core operations remains critical. Over the next few years, there'll be an investment of nearly $30 million in this cultural complex, with the vast majority of funding coming from private sources. We are proud of the progress this complex has made over the last 25 years and in this partnership with Buncombe County. And we look forward to working with you in the years to come.
Thank you. We will hear from Homeward Bound. You have 5 minutes, and then we'll close out with ABCCM and the Art Museum.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Jim Louder, Director of Advancement with Homeward Bound, and I'm here with Tracy Edmonds, our Director of Homeless Services, and Emily Ball, our Director of Housing Services. Thank you for the opportunity for us to submit a proposal to you again, and we're grateful for your past support. We submit this proposal in the belief that secure housing is foundational to human well-being and growth. And we're here and we do what we do because when we're tired, we're exhausted, as we are now, we'll all go home. We have a place to rest and nourish ourselves. When it is cold or raining or snowing, we don't have to worry about sleeping in our cars or jumping through the hoops and the sometimes indignities experienced of getting a shelter bed. We're here because, and we do what we do because we believe every resident of our county has a basic human right to a home. Our proposal has 3 parts, all based on national best practices, proven to work effectively, and cover a spectrum of services from homelessness to permanent housing. First, funding for our A Hope Day Center coordinated assessment. Coordinated assessment is social work language for an evidence-based process of determining how vulnerable and how physically at risk persons are as a result of being homeless. It tells us who are homeless and what they need. It ensures that everyone who is assessed at the end of the day has a housing plan, a plan that provides effective support, not too much, not too little. Resources are used in a way that maximizes their benefit and prevents people from dying on the streets as a result of being homeless. 2, implementation of an appropriate housing plan. This is a big one. It's called rapid rehousing, and it is where most individuals and families who are assessed land on the scale. They need housing and some support for a relatively short period of time, 6 months or so, sometimes longer, sometimes less. We have federal funds to pay deposits, utilities, and rents, but not staff. So what we're asking for you is funding for our housing case managers to provide the needed support for 100 additional homeless families and individuals. Your dollars will leverage dollars that we've already secured from the federal government, and your dollars will help us help individuals and families to stabilize their lives, find jobs, secure benefits, obtain services, become self-sustaining. The final part is funding for what we call Project Rebound. And this is a project that provides case management staffing for 80 formerly chronically homeless individuals living with mental illness and addiction issues, as well as general health issues. These are folks with high needs, and this is what keeps them in housing. Homeward Bound has an 89% housing retention rate, and it is because of projects like Homeward Bound, like Project Rebound, and the support that we can provide folks with high needs, the reason why we have that 89% retention rate. Last year, we moved 352 individuals and families into permanent housing. There is a solution to homelessness. Big social problems don't often have a solution, but we have one, and we know how to do it. We all as a community know how to do it. So together, we can end homelessness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will hear from Scott Rogers and ABCCM. He has multiple applications, 5 minutes.
Chairman Gant and Commissioners, thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you. I feel a little bit like the preacher who was late to the potluck. I hope there's enough chicken, grits, and coleslaw and potato salad left. Thank you for all that you support, though, with all these organizations, because I'm happy to say that we've worked with most of them, and thanks to your support, we're able to collaborate and help fill the gaps, because that's what we do best in this community. I'm here tonight to thank you for your investment in the ABCCM Hominy Valley Crisis Ministry and the Navigator Project. Last year you provided the last 10% of capital funding, and not only is that facility providing crisis services, but also medical services. In that time, in just that 1 year, we doubled the number of people and families that we're helping in just 1 year. We did that by doubling the hours there, as well as at ABCCM South, where our community navigator is there now 8 hours a day instead of 4. And thanks to that, I mean, a woman with 2 kids came in just looking for some food. She happened to mention she'd like another job. Well, the navigator just happened to have had the new jobs list that day and helped connect her with another part-time healthcare job. He noticed a limp in her leg, and she had talked about how she put it off because she hadn't really found a primary care provider. And he connected her with one of the community health centers. It's that kind of connecting of the dots that makes such a difference. And so in our community navigator increase this year, it was asking to add that at our North Samaritan Ministry in Weaverville. Because we just had, last month, a 90-year-old veteran who was $30 over the limit for heating assistance. And they went the extra mile to make sure that he got the heat that he needed. We want to double the hours there because there's other veterans and men and women and families there that could use that help. Because we don't want to just give you a few dollars return, we want to give you 100% return on your investment whenever we can. That leads us really to the fact that on our waiting list, we have over 300 women at Steadfast House. You know, we're really grateful for your support of HelpMate. April was here earlier, and they do a fantastic job in the first 90 days of helping these families with domestic violence. We're honored what you're doing with family justice. We appreciate the great work of Physical Legal and all the other agencies. But we're here to provide you with a vision that is now settling up, and you'll be invited to the groundbreaking in April of Transformation Village to put in place eventually 160 one-bedroom apartments, 40 two-bedroom apartments, and then 50 emergency shelter beds for our homeless women and children, where half are victims of domestic violence. You can see by this design, it will also have a medical clinic with it. And over here in the center drawing, you can see that it will have different neighborhoods. Neighborhoods for single women, for veteran women, for women in recovery, so that we can really bring the supportive services to address those needs as they need them. And then you'll see over here our Veterans Village project that will go up with a 5-story building that will provide 48 new apartments for our veterans. You see, we've got 59 men and women veterans who are ready to move out on their own with jobs, with stable income, and no place to go. Folks, we're asking you for 10% support, like we did with Hominy Valley on these projects for their first phase of development. We are asking for ongoing support to help provide the additional supportive services for those survivors of domestic violence. This community is doing a fantastic job with your support and collaborating and partnering. Thank you for your partnership with us over the last 47 years and for the year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Next, we will hear, and last, we will hear from Nashville Art Museum. Dan?
Chairman and Commissioners, I'm Pam Myers, Executive Director of the Asheville Art Museum. Thank you for having us here today. I think it's great to be last. The Asheville Art Museum has requested $2.175 million from Buncombe County in the fiscal year of 2017 to support the capital project to create the new Asheville Art Museum. The museum is grateful for the partnership of the county and its commitment to education, the arts, and to providing ongoing support to this cornerstone civic project over the last several years. We have begun construction, and we urge the commissioners to again approve support for the new museum in the 2017 budget cycle. Like other economic development projects supported by the county, the return on investment the county will receive by investing in the new museum will be significant. For example, we anticipate $7 million per year of economic impact, $31 million of local construction impact, estimated to support 400 direct and indirect jobs. We project over 200,000 will annually participate in programming and increased revenue for lodging, dining, retail, arts, and entertainment businesses, and enhanced property values. We are proud to bring significant private investment to the project and to our community. To date, 75% of the funds raised, over $18 million and counting, are from private sources, foundations, individuals, and businesses. 45% of the funds raised to date are from sources outside of Buncombe County, representing over $8 million in new investment brought to the county through this project. With more regional and national support, we are expecting. For example, currently the museum has raised 89% of a $2 to $1 million challenge grant from the National Foundation. Like other economic development and civic projects, Buncombe County's support is essential to leveraging these outside investments in our community. We are very excited to have launched the major construction on the project, and with the assistance of our fabulous team of local architects, consultants, and builders, we anticipate opening the new museum in spring 2018. During the construction project, the museum will remain open on site, as well as offering a robust schedule of off-site programming in the schools with our educational partners and with many other community partners across Western North Carolina. We are proud to safeguard some 4,000 objects and 5,000 drawings that are unique to our community and cultural heritage, and to make them accessible to over 115,000 participants annually. We know that Buncombe County values education and the arts and takes great pride in its partnerships. We thank you for your consideration and for your ongoing support.
Thank you, Karen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our meeting today. I want to thank again all of you for taking time to give a great presentation. There's not a single one of you that does not have a program that is worthy of funding. Like everything, it's a matter of money. And we're going to do the best we can. We're going to be working between now and summer when we adopt our budget. But I want to thank you for taking time and all you do for our community, because you make us a better place. I know every commissioner here appreciates you. So with that, I will close the meeting. I don't think we were ever in session officially, so thank you again for being here tonight.